we are walking, or you are walking, I should say, um, into the Velvet Veil. That's where we left off last time. You just got done having a conversation, a rather tense conversation with some what seemed to be apparent G-men in the parking lot when they said that they refused to go into the bar because they knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And after you had had a conversation about a possible trade for the scales, which included zeroing all of you out. Basically, what that means is making it so that no government, no anything has any information on your existence. And then they left. With the understanding that Derek has their business card to be able to to contact them when you're ready to talk again.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
So, we'll just start with you walking back into the Velvet Veil. So where are you going?
Actually, we probably need a description of the Velvet Veil. I don't think we have a thorough description of it yet.
Okay. Well, the Velvet Veil is the way that I had described it pretty much was like Cheers.
That's
It's
right.
mostly wood. There's a big bar in the center, but they primarily sell like local brewery stuff. There's also an old defunct restaurant on the top, which is considered like a VIP area, which is effectively it's Kindred only. So that's effectively like your Anarch Elysium. Although they don't call it that. The name of the place is actually they call it UK for what did I say? I was just going over this in my head earlier. It's something kegs. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like United Kegs or something like that. And the idea is that there's a password to get in, which Darby would know. Also, Cade would probably know at this point, which is anarchy. That's the password. And the idea
Really?
is, yeah, the idea is it's anarchy in the UK.
I mean, that seems so obvious. Like anybody's gonna be able to guess that.
Not necessarily.
I guess that works.
They're
Well,
not
there's something
necessarily
too.
hiding anything either. The idea is that humans don't know what it is.
I think going upstairs would be best.
Okay. Now it is a fairly busy night, so it's crowded downstairs.
What's the normal clientele into this place, anyways?
The normal clientele in this place is people who, since this place isn't really known to be very hipsterish, but it is primarily like the hipster youth of the area, because, like I said, it's all like locally brewed beer, organically local farmed, like food and stuff out of the kitchen. But it's primarily just like the idea of like a totally independent bar where they're trying not to reach out to they're trying to like stay away from like the typical Budweisers and stuff like that. King breweries, I guess it would be in the world of darkness. So this is all more like locally sourced stuff. So you're
I would like to
pretty hipsters.
I would like to do a quick scan to make sure there's no one I particularly know in here.
Okay. Me, I guess a wits plus investigation.
Okay. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Dice rolls.
Yep.
It's what? Exclamation point?
Exclamation point roll.
Yeah. Oh, what do I roll again? What's my character? We use dice for this game.
Your wits
3.
is 2.
Yep.
And your investigation is 2, so you're rolling 4.
What is my current hunger? Hunger is 2.
Yep.
Oh, there's that.
So it's a 50-50 roll. Yeah, consider what your hunger is. Because we're taking
Mhm.
over what we did last time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I need to deal with that at some point. But I'm at my bar, so
All right, 1.
1? You don't see anybody that you know.
Yeah, then I will head towards upstairs.
Okay.
Give
I'll
it this night.
follow.
I don't think
I'll lead.
I want to make sure we're in company.
Is anyone
Yeah.
not going upstairs?
We're going as a group.
Okay.
So tempted to stop and get a snack, but I don't think there's time for that right now.
All right. So you start heading upstairs, and there is effectively one of the other bouncers. This is what Darby would pretty much be doing, is making sure like only the right people go upstairs.
Yes.
So
And I also keep, make sure they're, squash any potential bar fights or anything like that.
yeah. No, that's that.
Yeah, the usual.
That's definitely.
And this is the same gentleman that I just saw a little bit ago.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But seeing that you're with Darby, he doesn't even question. He just lets you guys walk through. Now, when you get upstairs, it's more of an open venue. There's a large dance floor in the center of the room. There is a central bar, and there's also like various booths that line the outside walls of the room. And I'm going to go ahead and roll a dice just to decide how many Kindred are going to be here. So, oh, wow, okay. It's incredibly empty tonight. There's only 2 Kindred here. So you
How
can...
sad.
Yeah, you can... I mean, it's not that strange. I mean, they could be out hunting, enjoying themselves. They're not just going to hang
They're
out at
doing
the
their
bar all
thing.
the time, yeah. So we'll go ahead and say that you can definitely see the Baron, whose name is Savvy,
Mhm.
and their personal... Their personal bodyguard, which is a very small, younger-looking girl, which I think Darby's the only person who would probably know who this person is, but her name is Tink.
Love it.
Hold on one sec. I'm gonna. Darby may know who she is, but I don't
Oh
know
no,
who she is.
I just made her up. I don't expect you to know who she is.
And besides Savvy and Tink, is there anyone else, or are those the 2?
Aside from the bartender who's just taking the time to clean, no, there's nobody else here.
Okay.
It's a very, very quiet night.
How young is she, by the way?
Tink looked like she was embraced in her late teens, but she dresses far younger. She does her best to look like a child.
Oh boy.
She is not a child, I want to point that out, but she does her best to look like one.
I'm I'm making a note.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, sorry, I'll underestimate her. Smart move.
All right. So the 4 of you walk in, and and yeah, there's some light jazz playing over the speakers, but aside from that, it's pretty quiet in here. We'll just say Tink is sitting off to a table near Savvy, but not at Savvy's table, and she's just got like a Nintendo Switch out. She seems to be playing some kind of game. And product placement in my games. And and we'll just say Savvy looks like he's going over some kind of... He's got like a small stack of papers and folders, and he seems to be going over some stuff.
Right, so I will look over to Tink. I'm like, hey, Tink, how you doing?
She doesn't look up. She's just like, not now, not now, not now, not now, and she starts like frantically pressing buttons.
Oh, come on, you got this. I knew you got this. You're so good at that thing. Hey, boss. I brought a couple friends to chat.
Savvy looks up from what he's doing and starts to shuffle the papers into a presentable pile, and he's like, I see that. For those of you who have not seen Savvy before, is this, I believe, just Derek's first time?
I met him last
Oh,
session.
okay. Then everybody's seen Savvy. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he looks up at you. How can I be of assistance?
I figured one of you two who are better talkers than me might want to actually say it. Or
Well, Cade will kind of adjust his sweater vest a little bit and look if there's like a seat available.
Yeah, he's sitting at a booth. There's probably
All
enough room for all of you if you wanted to.
He will kind of sit and it's like, it's good to see you again, Savvy. So we had a very interesting night tonight.
Oh.
Well, first off, we have met your acquaintance here that you phoned us about, Mr. Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it seemed that the moment we met him, we also met some other individuals that had interest in us who know about us.
All right. This is not really a place where you have to
Oh,
beat around the bush.
True. I don't know who
he's
these
not
people are.
that type.
How should I put it? They're not ghouls. They're not mages that I can tell. To be honest, the closest thing I could think of was well, don't laugh. I'm sure you will. Mummies.
He's not laughing at all. He just kind of like looks at you like you're insane.
I know. And to be honest, I actually questioned them about that, and that gave them pause, which was very fortunate, to be honest. Anyways, they're here acquiring about some items. At a game, I forget if he knew about it or not. I don't think we know that he knows, per se.
Are you talking about your stolen item?
Yeah, I'm just thinking out of game. I'm trying to remember if he actually is aware of it. That we know. I'm sure he's aware of it, but
He's alluded to it.
He has alluded to not knowing.
Okay.
He's going out of his way to stay in the dark about the situation.
They were inquiring about a item that I believe was recently stolen, and
Okay.
they
Hey,
believe that we are
You know those
in custody of it.
scales? You know those scales? I'll
yes.
say it.
Yes, Darby, I know the scales.
That's the item. Yeah.
All right. So, a group of individuals who seem to know what we are is inquiring about the scales.
Yes.
Do these individuals seem to be threatening?
They allude
That's
to
actually
having
hard
some
to say.
danger about them. They allude to having some danger about them, and they seem to have a threatening presence, but they were afraid to even set foot in here, so I don't know how dangerous they really are.
They did do something to Darby, I believe. And then Cade will look at Darby for you to explain.
Did something to me. Oh, wait, you mean when I went and hugged him?
Yes, you were acting rather odd.
Oh, yeah, they had some sort of way to cast some sort of boogie magic. So I suddenly liked him. And then I went and hugged him. Oh, it made me happy. That's what it's no. No, wait, I'm sorry. They put the whammy me. I did like them. But it also made me happy and took away all my anger for a short time. It's rather interesting.
Took away your anger.
My anger. Yes, my anger. I was just totally joyful. And the only way I could handle it was giving people hugs.
He's going to turn back towards Blackstone. Cade,
Hmm.
will these scales help you in your research?
Cade will look at Carter for a moment, and then kind of give him a "I'm sorry" look, and then look back at Savvy. I do not believe they will.
So look at him and say, to be honest, we don't know enough about them to say whether or not they'll help at all, or maybe they will a lot. But we do know that a lot of people want them.
Okay. What do you think would be the right course of action considering what we do know about them?
Well, I'm inclined to continue my research, perhaps with Cade, perhaps alone, but I want to keep finding more about what these things do.
Hmm.
I'm not inclined to hand them over to someone just because they ask nicely.
Although, apparently they are not above purchasing the scales from us after a fashion.
Don't take this as being rude. And he looks over at Carter. Who are you again?
My name's Carter Ashbridge.
And are you a member
Don't
of the
believe...
movement?
Not formally, no.
Derek kind of shuffles uncomfortably.
Oh, sorry, boss. I should have introduced him. Yeah, that's Carter, and this is Derek.
Oh, I'm well
Our
acquainted with Derek.
Oh, you are. Oh, okay, sir. I did not know.
I sent Derek to meet with you because I wasn't 100% sure if we could trust Carter.
You can
So
trust
I
I'm
say
keeping
nothing.
the scales quite safe.
It seems like we've found ourselves in a very interesting situation.
Oi, I agree with that.
They seem willing to negotiate its safe return. So I do not think they mean to have... They don't mean to take it forcefully, I believe. They don't have to.
So they want its safe return to the museum?
I don't think exactly to the museum. It's a little hard to tell. They did seem to have some form of ties to a government entity. They offered to zero us from the system. Whether that was just, bait to try to get us to entice us, or whether they actually can, I could not say.
So, sorry, I just seemed to be a little bit confused on this whole thing, but the fact is I am. This is a legitimate government organization or no?
I do not know.
Because they're offering to have us wiped from their systems.
I know.
That tells me that we're already in their systems.
Yes,
And
that's
that's
why I'm
my,
not sure if they can or can't.
And Carter chimes in saying, I think their offer is holding up a pair of fours and representing a full house. They're saying that they can zero us. I don't know why they would have much information about me, of anything. They say they're a government organization. I don't think so. They're clearly an organization. But there was nothing too particularly government about them or too official other than nice suits.
Hmm.
But real government officials don't wear nice suits all the time. They especially don't look as obvious as that. So I'm inclined to believe there's something else entirely. And I question what they can actually do. I've got no evidence that they can actually zero us or do anything of value. And even if they said they did, how would we know? But
I
what they
think,
are asking for is of value.
well, I think part of the problem and the thing that we should be concerned with is the fact that they seem to be conveniently showing up at locations where we seem to be. I mean, they just showed up at my club, and I knew nothing of any of this. So if the fact of the matter is they're going to be showing up at Kindred locations, looking for information, they obviously know more than we may believe that they're letting on. And at this point, I'll pull out the business card and I'll slide it onto the table. This is the contact information that we've been provided for them.
Not to make too fine a point of it, Mr. Temple, but you own a Gothic fetish club in Georgia. You're not exactly inconspicuous.
Savvy actually chuckles at that comment from Carter. He picks up the business card and just like seems to be analyzing it. Like he just stares at it like it's gonna do a trick. But he's looking at the front, the back. He seems to be looking for any kind of hidden anything.
Mhm.
Do you see anything, boss?
Not really. It seems to just be a regular business card, not even a very expensive one.
Anyways, obviously this has drawn a lot of concern. Not so much the fact of, it's more the fact that they know what we are without apparently, they know what we are. They were able to perform some form of magic upon one of us. And
Me.
there's numerous amounts of them.
So they're not fully human either.
I don't believe so. As for what they are exactly, I'm not sure.
Finding out what they are, who they are, is probably the first thing that we should do before we even consider anything that they're offering.
I can agree to
I
that.
agree.
I wasn't sure if maybe you had an idea, but at least I wanted you to know, especially if they're costing other kindred at their locations. That could cause untold amounts of disarray.
There was one other thing. They had a conspicuous tattoo that Mr. Temple noticed on their arms.
Yes.
Perhaps you could describe it better, Derek.
I will attempt to draw it. I do not have craft, but I will attempt to draw it as best I can.
Okay. Can we please get a craft test though?
Yeah, no, that's fine. What would you like me? Craft and what? Craft and what?
Let's see. You don't have any craft.
Nope.
Oh boy.
So I need something.
Let's see.
Could
what.
you describe it? Does
Why
anybody here?
Why don't we go ahead and use the physical skill and the mental skill to try to get this done, and do dexterity plus resolve.
Oh,
But
I
it's
love
gonna.
that.
But I'm going to up the difficulty to make up for the fact that you don't actually have crafts.
Oh
As
boy.
an
There.
art teacher by profession, I think that's amazing.
Thank you very much. I actually wanted to be an art teacher when I was younger. So.
Well, I guess that makes three of us because that's what my degree is in.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, there is a picture of it in scene art. In fact, it's the very last one in scene art. But let's go ahead and see what that roll is.
So there's 1 in hunger and 2 successes.
Okay.
One critical fail in hunger.
Okay, so you put your hunger first?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that is not only a loss, that is a messy critical.
No.
Wait, messy critical.
Messy critical this situation.
Actually,
How-
It's a friggin' drawing.
I was gonna say, how's it a messy critical?
it's a messy critical because you didn't hit the minimum that you needed to win,
Okay.
and you got a 1 in your hunger.
Okay.
So that's messy critical. Basically, this is going to send off the Tremere compulsion.
Perfection.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Basically, you're going to be
keep
like,
trying.
no, this isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. And you're just going to keep trying and trying and trying. So,
Oh no.
for the rest of the scene, you are going to be trying to redraw this thing properly.
Yeah,
Now,
it's like I show. It's like, you know what? No, it's it has
Yeah,
more of a
Derek's
curve
like,
here. Let
no,
me
no,
redo
it's
that.
more like this.
now
That's a
no,
little.
the-
That's a little
if you add
too
a little-
real. That's a little too real, Mr. Storyteller.
No,
to
no, no,
my
I mean,
reality.
that's how it works. That's what
Yes, it
OCD
is!
does. That's what OCD does. So basically, what's going to happen is you're going to try like 3 times over the course of this scene, and the difficulty for you to draw it is going to go down each time because you're going to get
Okay.
better and better every time at doing it.
Gotta refine it.
Okay, so basically, you're going to end up grabbing you're going to end up sitting at a table, grabbing some napkins and a Sharpie, and just drawing as everybody's talking. You can still talk and chime in, but every couple of minutes, you're probably going to want to throw another test.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody sees Cade just go, no, this is crap. He takes some napkins, he sits down at a table, and he starts drawing.
I actually like this this fail because it's like, it's not horrible. It's just, yeah, no, that's realistic.
Yeah, it's incredibly realistic.
As Cade sits there scrambling or scribbling frantically, I look at what he's doing and said, "Mr. Temple, you were the first to see it. Perhaps you can better just describe it verbally
No.
to our host here."
Mr. Temple,
No,
is it more? Did it more have a curve here, or it was a little further out?
No, that part's got to be behind it.
Okay.
You know. No. That's too tall. Like,
No. I think it was more like this.
Right.
I'll hunker down
I didn't
first,
even
right.
see it. Anything's gonna look fine to me. The whole rest of the scene is gonna go on infinite. This is gonna be infinitely long scene because he's never gonna get it right.
Well, it's going to...
He's never gonna be able to leave.
I don't mean it's going to get easier and easier each time he does it.
I mean, would I be able to just like verbally describe it, or
You can verbally describe it. At this point in time, Cade has
Yeah.
2 successes on it.
fantastic? Right. I mean, it kind of resembled like a column or almost like a chess piece,
Mm.
and then a crook on one side and what kind of resembled a flail on the other.
That's interesting.
Very Egyptian.
I have somebody that I can probably... I have somebody who might be able to help us out, but there's a small problem with that.
What's that, boss?
Well, they're connected to the museum that you stole the scales from.
Well, you didn't steal the scales, boss. I mean, could you talk to them without?
I would like... At this point in time, I need to figure out exactly how to bring this up to them without bringing the scales up to them. So...
Well, we only know that we saw someone with a tattoo like that. Perhaps you
agreed.
can go to your acquaintance and say, "I saw this tattoo. Tell me,
Yeah.
does it mean anything, or is it just the equivalent of having a tattoo that says soup in Japanese?"
Well, personally, I think it would be better if you all talk to them, not me.
Probably do that. I mean, wait, why couldn't we do that?
Who is this
I mean,
acquaintance?
we're asking something that is totally independent from the scales themselves. We want to know what this organization is. That has nothing to do with the scales. I'm sure we can pull this off.
Yeah, and
Right,
the three of us might be. The three of us
This
might be
organization is
recognized
asking
from
about the
the.
scale. It has nothing to do with them.
There is video footage that Mr. Temple was shown in pictures. So the 3 or 4 of us coming together at once might be a little conspicuous. So I would suggest that one or two of us do such a conversation, but not the whole gang, not the whole band.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Did you...
there we go.
You got 4 there.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that was a success. After this conversation happens, and Cade just starts exploding in laughter from the other side, from the other table, he holds up a napkin and he actually has like a pretty good rendition of what this tattoo looks like.
This is what it looked like.
I'm gonna go
And I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're free from your compulsion at this point.
Amazing.
I want to go
Amazing.
give Cade a high five for that. Yeah, way to go!
I kind of look at it, it's like, yes, tentatively I'll tap her hand.
You know, I mean, Derek was not seen on the video.
I was not.
Derek
I was about to suggest that I could go.
He's the one that could go. Was Cade on the vid? Do we know if Cade was on the video? Before you say
No,
that.
all three of us were seen
Okay.
in pictures presented to Mr. Temple, admiring the scales shortly before they vanished into thin air.
Exactly.
Okay, well, Derek can absolutely pull this off. I'm sure of it.
Savvy is gonna look over towards.
Actually, that's right.
Savvy's gonna look over towards Derek. Do you feel up to having a conversation about this tattoo on your own without backup?
Derek kind of raises his shoulders. I don't think I really have much choice in the matter. I think it would be unwise to bring anyone who was seen on the footage at that point.
Well, I will say this. Amongst the college, I am known. Now, I'm not saying I should go do it. Obviously, if things are the way they are, I don't want to draw any extra attention. But if they have seen the footage, they know probably who I am.
And bald men aren't exactly rare, but I don't really want to put my face out there. And Darby's about as inconspicuous as a rhino in a china shop, so that leaves you.
Okay, so absolutely, that's a good description. Good description.
I have a suggestion, but I don't know if it's insensitive.
All ears.
What's the best way of putting this?
I mean, I think we're past insensitive.
I was just wondering. Do you, and he gestures towards Derek, do you have a way of changing the appearance of our friends here?
Cade raises his eyebrow like it goes up.
Derek stiffens his posture a little bit.
Not trying to put you on the spot or anything.
No, it's understandable. That's not a skill that I've acquired yet.
Oh, well, damn.
Can may Cade roll an occult to understand what was probably being hinted at?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's going to make things interesting. Oh, this could go so badly too.
It
That'd
could.
be awesome.
That's what makes it fun.
So 2 successes, but
do you have any
one
willpower?
in the I do. Sure, why not?
We're gonna
Let's
end up
roll
having
some
a fun
willpower.
night with Cade.
let's go ahead and roll willpower. Why not?
Yeah, that'll be 3 of your standard dice that you're re-rolling there.
Mm-hmm. Which is just what I can re-roll. Well, no, actually, I can re-roll 4 dice total. If I needed to. So one of them's going to be the 1, by the way.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it really doesn't matter either way.
doing it.
Okay, so that's one more success.
3.
You. I mean, there's a couple things that could possibly be the answer for this, but there's definitely a level of like that could very well not be good for you historically.
Yes. I'm thinking more of the tension.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cade will give Mr. Temple a bit of a longer look and kind of raise an eyebrow. Given Mr. Temple's overall appearance that he's described himself, given the innuendo there and the subtlety or the how should I put it caginess of the discussion of the reaction, I think I might know.
I would assume.
I'm going to walk up to Cade and say, Darby, quiet, which you all know is not really quiet. Hey, Cade, did we kind of screw up your job at the university?
I don't know.
Have you heard anything yet from your employers?
No, I think for now there's not enough, how she said it, evidence. That would be speculation on their part.
I'm sorry.
But I would prefer not to antagonize the situation anymore currently.
I understand. I'm sorry. I just
It's in the past. Let us just deal with
felt
the
like the
present and
right
future.
thing to do at the time.
Kate will give Darby a bit of the right thing, huh?
All right. Well, Derek looks over at Cade and then looks over at Savvy. All right. Well, I mean, if he's familiar with the college, if you don't mind me asking, Savvy, who's the contact that you have in mind?
The contact that I have in mind is he's a member of the ministry by the name of Monroe. They are anarch, but they are also connected to the museum. They may be able to help.
And looking over at Cade, are you familiar with this Monroe individual?
No, and Cade will just kind of look down at the quasi-Egyptian symbol. And then no, it just seems very interesting. And Cade will then look at Savvy and ask, do you think it is all possible that this Monroe would have any connection to this group that we encountered?
I don't think that he would have any connection. I'm 100%. This is completely racial profiling. I'm to be completely clear. He is ministry, Church of Set to be specific, and this is an Egyptian symbol.
Yes.
So
I understand your logic.
It's like if somebody wanted to come up to me and ask about fine art or proper style, I'd completely accept that.
Better than what we have now, which is not much.
Yes, you are correct. And I just, obviously, with the way things are going, I wish to be as cautious as possible.
Okay.
Well then, how about if you and Mr. Temple go together to meet Mr. Monroe character? Darby and I can hang in the back and, well, provide backup, but I don't think it'll come to that.
Together, I look at Mr. Temple.
No, just you two. Just you two. We're going to stay far away.
Well, the question would be, what would be the reasoning for both of us together?
It's always good to have backup in case something goes wrong.
Only because he's part of your university. If you feel that Mr. Temple can handle it on his own, by all means.
Well, as it's been pointed out, I run a fetish club in Athens, Georgia. You know, every now and then we have theme nights, and maybe this week I'm feeling a little Egyptian.
That is a very good that's a very good tale, actually. I think that is a strong way of
It's a good tale. Just be careful you don't offend someone.
Generally not something that I always concern myself with.
But like you said, we're past offending people, so give it a whirl.
All right. Well, if Mr. Temple and Mr. Blackstone here are going to go speak with Monroe, what are the other two going to be doing?
I don't know. I'm probably hanging out in the parking lot waiting for them.
Yeah, hanging out.
Derek
Speaking,
looks at Carter. Is there any way that you could make some headway on what that thing does?
Headway on which side?
The scales.
the scales.
I have been thinking about a different kind of contact I can talk to, but it'll take some time.
Carter. And you know what? Are we still at the table? We haven't left, right?
Yeah, you're still at the table.
I'm gonna stay quiet for now. Then I'll wait until we leave.
Okay.
What I plan on doing while you're in there is I'll be outside keeping an eye out looking for anybody who might be suspicious. Making sure that we aren't followed.
Okay. So
Things like that.
So two of you are going to go in and talk to him, and two of them are you're just going to be outside as backup.
Correct.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that works for me as long as this can get taken care of. I don't like the idea of people snooping around and knowing what we are.
Agreed.
It's just a good way
Agreed.
for the cam to decide that they need to act in on us or something.
You got no love for the cam, do you?
No, not at all.
All right.
They're kind of an
What's not to like about them?
They're an outdated institution that needs to just fuck off.
I mean, what's there to really like about them? I mean, they get all these rules and such. They're no fun. I mean, my gosh. Ugh. Why would you want to be on that side of the fence?
Carter doesn't say anymore. Just lets that drop.
You're all right though, and I mean, I'll come over and just kind of, give a little pat on the shoulder.
Are
As I said, you're all right.
Are you a member of the tower?
I'm not a member, but I'm not against its ideologies.
Well, you're just kind of in the middle. I think I see.
That's right. But on to more pressing business. Let's get Mr. Temple in a conversation he doesn't want to have.
I think he's gonna do a great job. I really do.
All right, well, if that's the case, you could probably just start heading over to the Georgia Museum.
Hey,
Museum
now
of
can I
History.
get anybody mind if I get a snack?
Might be a good idea.
Especially since who knows what's going to happen. All right. Is there anyone in my normal? Heck is my feeding thing. I don't remember.
Are you trying to like cash in herd or something?
Yeah. Usually I feed on people, bar patrons.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. I'm a consensualist, so they have to actually consent.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'll go for the regulars. I assume there are regulars downstairs that I've been here for a while, so
Yeah. Well,
I have regulars.
since we are trying to get Silent involved,
Oh boy.
why don't you go ahead and roll manipulation plus persuasion, and we'll see how easy it is for you to feed tonight.
Manipulation plus persuasion. Why did I not make this better? What is my thing? Wait, what
I'm the
is
kind of
my
person
thing?
when I build a character sheet, sometimes I take what should be my strongest and I always make it my weakest just for fun.
It's true. It's true. Where on the sheet actually is that consensualist, but what the heck is my feeding thing?
You are.
What is that friggin' under?
If you go,
It's manipulation plus persuasion.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'll
That's why I
choose
said
it.
that. So you've got 2 manipulation, and you've
And
got
two
2
persuasion,
persuasion, and
two hunger,
your
and
specialty
oh yeah, that's right.
is victims,
It's,
and you're trying to feed, so you do get an extra dice.
so it would be 3. I'm sorry, it'd be 5 rather.
Yep.
So I got 2 hunger, so it's 3d10. Wow, that's a whole lot of shit. That's fucking 1 success
1 success.
on a hunger. That's it. Isn't 6 above?
Yep. Well, suck.
actually, not
Did I
suck,
find
apparently.
nobody? Did I find nobody?
It depends on how many successes you needed.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, you're feeding in a busy bar, and you just got a 1 and 1 success. You wanna use a willpower?
I probably should. 'Cause that was really freaking bad. Oh yeah, and I can actually all I can actually I use all I can do is roll 2. So oh, wow, I can write. Sure.
Everyone cross their fingers.
Yeah. Right.
All right, there's another success and no ones.
Okay.
So that's 2 6.
Okay, that should be enough in your normal stomping grounds. So, how much were you thinking about taking?
Oh, well, a 1 because I
Yeah.
am only down. I've got 2 hunger, and it'd be nice to get rid of that one. I'm not going to kill anybody, and I'm going to lick the room clean,
Good job.
just so we can declare that now before I forget, because I will inevitably forget to say it.
All right.
Have a little snack for the road.
Okay.
Feel
And,
much better.
does anybody else have anything they need to do before heading out?
Yes. So as we're leaving, Cade will actually kind of stop Carter. Says, Carter, given probably the limited time we have left with these scales, if you want to find out what it's going to do, I think now is the opportunity. If you can
I
get
need to
access
go back
a
to my
heart,
haven. I need
Yes,
to go
you
back
can-
to my haven to get in touch with someone. But we don't need to make our time with these scales so limited necessarily.
it's not so much that we have it limited; it's just unknown. We don't know what will happen soon.
Fair.
Anyways, I suggest if you can, do it soon. Maybe do it before we head over. I myself wish to go quench my thirst a bit first.
All right. Carter is going to
roughly the same spot.
Carter is going to split from the group to go to his haven to make contact with someone. Guess I'll pass the mic from there.
And then Derek will want to make a phone call. He's going to call Adrian.
Do you want this phone call to be private, or do you mind doing it
Private?
Private. Okay. Do you want to meet me
Private.
behind closed doors to do that?
Oh, sure.
Now
That's sort of
this
private.
will come out in like a day or two.
Oh, yeah,
when
no,
I
that's
get
fine.
This up. Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
That's fine.
Do you want to head over there right now?
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna handle that phone call, and we'll be right back.
Okay. Wine time.
Okay.
All right. So he will call Adrian.
Okay. Phone will ring a couple
Okay.
of times, and he will answer.
All right.
Hello.
Adrian,
Yes.
I wanted to let you know that unfortunately, I had to. The reason I had to step out earlier today is taking me a bit longer to handle. So I wanted to ask of you to make sure that everything is handled at home uh, with the rest of the pack.
Hmm. I mean, I think everything will be fine, but we don't like you being that far away that long.
I understand that, but they have to know that sometimes these things can't be helped.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're going to be gone, you're going to be gone. There's really not much we can do about it.
I understand that. What time of evening is it?
Right now, it's probably around 1 a.m.
About 1 a.m. Okay.
because we're
All right.
continuing from the last session.
Right. Right. Okay. And sunup is probably around 6.
We can definitely find that out. Let's see. Uh, 6:24 a.m.
Perfect. Okay. Um. Okay. So I'll continue the conversation, and I will tell him I do intend to be home by no later than 5 a.m. So if at that point, when I arrive, if they could be home or awake to present them to me, themselves to me.
I think that can be arranged.
Good boy.
Mm. Is there anything else you need from us?
Always.
Hmm.
But we can discuss that tomorrow evening.
I look forward to it. You can actually tell that there is some, I don't know, regret in Adrian's voice right
Mhm.
now. He's not happy about the situation of you being out that long.
Hearing that in his voice, I'll talk a little bit more to him. I just want you to think about me running my hands through your hair and down your neck.
See, you're telling me all this and you're not even coming home. That's not fair. I'm going to be up all night worrying about you, and then I'm going to have to work tomorrow. I'm sending you my Monster Energy bill.
I'll take care of that. And if there's... How can I make this up to you?
Just get home safe. That's really all that matters.
I will. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
And I'll disconnect the call.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else while we're behind the closed doors?
No, just kind of like silently, like looks at the phone for a moment. Kind of like, like shaking his head, like, what have I gotten myself into? And, just tucks it into his pocket. And he'll go back and meet with Cade to go out.
Okay. Let's head on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let's head on back on over.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
was there
Well,
something
okay.
Christian needed to do too?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
you want to make the
so
call.
I'll take this one quickly with Mekhet.
Yep,
Okay.
sounds good.
Is this a behind closed doors thing too?
Doesn't have to be.
It's up to you. It's up to your
Go on
want
and
of
get.
drama.
Go behind the doors. Go behind the doors.
All right, let's go behind closed. We'll do behind closed
All
doors
right,
then, just
here we
because
go.
it would be a little too gamey.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So how do we do this? Like, do I just call you separately or what?
No, there's a spot underneath where it says Elysium that says behind closed doors. It's just a different.
On
I'll
there
just move.
now.
Double click on that.
I'll just move you to it. Give me a second.
Oh, he's already over there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yep. Now,
All right.
the only time the players will hear this is when it gets up on YouTube.
All right, cool. So, and on my character sheet, basically one of my contacts, one of my touchstones is Sergeant Oscar Shepard, who is essentially a corpse.
Yes.
He is a former NYPD officer, killed and dead, but he resides, Bateman's corpse is at my haven.
Yes.
And I want to just have a conversation with him and see, because his corpse is in the haven along with the scales. What's the interaction there? Does he know what information, if any, can he provide? I mean, it's not like he's just an NYPD officer. He's not an Egyptian specialist.
Yeah.
He's dead.
But like, what can he?
He's gone across the veil.
What can he tell
Yeah.
you about what's going on? How are you contacting him?
All right, so let's go. One second here. Hours. Well, so I'm in. We'll have to do summon spirit, the ceremony,
Yeah.
and just go from there.
Okay. And summon spirit is, I believe, it's just a level 1, correct?
It is, yeah.
So it's fairly quick to do.
Yeah.
There we are.
So it's the same way I summoned King Tut's sister wife.
Yeah. So you have to have an item of something that belonged to him.
So I mean, I've got his full casket with his his badge and everything there. So
Yeah. So
he's my buddy, and I've been respectfully taking care of his corpse.
Yeah, I would as someone who has played necromancers extensively, the best thing to possibly have for this ritual would most likely be his ID.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you need like a photo or his signature.
Okay.
And a license has both.
So his cop ID would be something like that.
And you would also probably need a fetter of his. So like we can just say go ahead and say his police badge.
Yeah.
So these are two things that you can carry with you. That's fairly easy. After that, all you have to do is pour a little bit of your blood over it, and
I do so.
Yeah, and then it's a standard Oblivion challenge, which is going to end up being, I believe, your wits plus your Oblivion.
Okay. I just want to double check. It doesn't have it in whatever in demi-plane listed, but wits is 2, Oblivion is 2, so that's 4. Dice rolls.
Yeah, makes a Oblivion ceremony roll. That's all you got to do. And it's a level 1. Oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's Resolve plus Oblivion. I apologize.
Okay.
And
Thanks for being with it.
It's a difficulty of 2.
difficulty of 2. Oh, resolve is much, much better. Resolve is 4. Plus oblivion is 2, is 6 dice. 1 for the hunger. It's a XD10 exclamation mark, correct?
Exclamation mark, roll,
Oh, exclamation mark. Yeah.
and then it's your standard dice and then your hunger dice. As
Yeah,
long as I know,
got it.
that's what matters. Okay.
So, ooh, yeah, 1 success.
Wow.
Ugly.
If you want to burn a willpower, you can re-roll 3 of those regular
Mhm.
dice.
I will do so. So
Luckily,
it's just
luckily that one's not on your hunger.
what
So.
exactly? Yeah. So exclamation mark roll. 3d10, and I'll take off my willpower in a moment.
Okay.
There we are.
All right, so that's 3 successes total. So where exactly are you doing this little ritual? Do you like run off to the bathroom or something? Like where are you doing this?
No, I've gone back to my haven, which is where his body
Oh,
is.
okay, okay. So you
Like,
separated from
I've,
everybody and you go
I
back.
separated from the group. I'm on my own right now.
Okay.
I'm moving the camera onto me, and then it'll go back to them.
Okay.
But
And
I'm in the same.
I believe your
I'm in the
haven
same room as the
is
scales.
your
Go ahead.
I believe your haven is at Matthews Cemetery.
That's correct.
Okay. So we have Carter walking back or going back to Matthews Cemetery into his haven where you have your touchstone. The unfortunate corpse of what was the gentleman's name again?
Sergeant Oscar Shepard. Sergeant Oscar Shepard.
Sergeant Oscar Shepard. Okay. He's not moving too far away from his corpse. He stays pretty close by. So as soon as you do the ritual, he starts to just fade. Like first you start hearing what sounds like the horrible death moans of a million ghosts. But then it starts to slow down and you can just hear an ethereal version of his voice and he starts to come into view for you.
Oscar, old buddy, how are you?
Hey Carter. How you doing?
I'm all right.
What can I do for you?
I'm in need of a little bit of advice. I'm not sure whether you've felt its presence or not, or noticed it hanging around here,
Talking
but
about those scales?
I am, my friend, I am.
Yeah, I sure as hell can notice that they're here.
And are they bugging you, man? I don't want
I mean,
to put you out of sorts.
they're not bugging me, but they're weird.
How weird.
Well, first off, I see them over here as if I could actually reach out and touch them.
Yeah.
You
So the
also have
information.
a friend. I don't know if you know that.
A friend. Oh,
Yeah, he starts
is she
looking.
around right now?
He starts looking around. He's like, "There's another wraith."
Is
He's
she
like,
around right now?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. This one like hides in the shadows and stuff. This thing can do things that I'm not. I don't know. I think this one's been dead a lot longer than me. It's got like a lot more. I don't know, tricks, whatever.
Yeah, I've seen her.
Kind of reminds me of the
I,
one that digged me out of the bag.
I, for whatever reason, I've got a good feeling about her, and she doesn't scare me. And I don't know. I mean, I know how you like to treat some of the old perps back in the day, but be nice if you see her.
I mean, is it a
Um,
she?
I think it's a she.
I can't tell. It's like a weird.
Well,
It's like a weird person shape, but it's got wings.
yeah, the wings I've seen. The wings I've seen. She's. I haven't tried to stretch my sight out to see, but is she around here now?
Yes, in fact, she is here. He'll look over towards the. He'll look over to a corner of the room that's like especially dark, and he just points over to it. He doesn't say anything. He just points over.
I look over in the area, and even though I haven't turned on Sense the Unseen or anything like that, I just
Well, since
nod
the
and
unseen
smile.
can be automatic, I can activate that for you from time to time. But
Ah,
yeah, when you look over into the corner, at first it seems like the shadows are just like unnaturally deep. You feel like you could probably walk through them and get lost in darkness, but After a
Mhm.
couple of seconds, you start seeing these glowing red eyes staring back at you.
I nod very gently, wave, and smile. And then I don't do anything more to acknowledge than that, as if it was a cat that's just watching you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, and you just let it go, let it circle the room. And if it comes to me, it comes to me. Otherwise, I'm just gonna let her circle around and do her business.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that thing is interested in those. He like points over to where you got the scales.
yeah, I can imagine. Just looking as I quickly glance at the, I'll call it a wraith for now, but is it staring at the scales, at us, at where's its focus?
It seems to be watching you at this point.
Okay, that's fine. I'm all right with that. So, Oscar, my friend, these scales, what do you know anything about them? Is there, I mean, the information I have is they're old, they're Egyptian, and they're used to weigh the worthiness of a soul after death. And you do that by putting a feather in one side. I know, Oscar, I know. It all sounds like hocus pocus to me, too. But you put a feather in one side and the part of the deceased in the other, and whatever god or presence will judge the worthiness of someone, and then I don't know what happens. Now, don't get me wrong, Oscar. I'm not about to put your heart in there. Don't worry about that.
I mean, is it the
But
physical heart? Because then he starts like pushing on himself. He's like, I don't know if I actually have one now. Like, is it?
well, it's in the box over there, my friend. But I'm not going to do that to you, my friend. And there's no way, like, unless you want. But you tell me.
I mean, I don't know what would happen.
Yeah, neither do I, and I'm not going to take that risk.
Because these things are
So
obviously like there's a ghost. Let's just say ghosts are interested in these things. Like we
yeah,
live in a cemetery, and I'm getting a lot more visitors here than usual.
right. You safe? Everything okay? Like,
Yeah, no, nobody seems to be extra hostile, but everybody's like interested in seeing them.
all right. Hmm. Do we have, other than the red-eyed wraith, do we have anyone else in our presence today?
He looks around. He's like, not now, but we have.
Do you
Like,
think we should try making friends with our other visitor?
what, that one? And he like points over to the where the red eyes are.
A point, it'd be nice. It's
I mean, I
friendly.
don't know how to get like, is that thing human?
It's definitely not human anymore. If it was,
He when he talks to you, he tends to forget that he's dead.
yeah,
Like
I forget he's dead too.
a lot. He really does. Like,
I forget he's dead too. We're old friends.
all right, well, I mean, I'm not being rude to it or anything like that. At least I don't think. But I don't know. That one's different.
All right, Oscar, be cool for a second. All right, buddy. I'm gonna try and reach out. Just play it cool, man. Don't get too spooked. No sudden movements. All right.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So I look over to where I see the red eyes,
Hmm.
and I get low to the ground again, as I did previously when I first saw it. And I just try extending out one hand, palm open, forward, and just see if it'll come and it takes that as an invitation or not.
It looks like it catches interest in what you're doing. Like it moves in a way of curiosity. Um, Oscar from back where he's standing, probably on the other side of the room, avoiding this thing. Um, he looks over to you and he goes, "Do you know, like, we don't, like, I can see you fine because you called me, but like we don't see like vampires like normal on this side."
Yeah.
Like,
I
I don't know, man. You're just like you're like a tangle of veins and stuff to us. That's all.
hmm.
So,
All right.
like, I'm not sure what, like, I can only imagine what you look like to that thing right now.
Oscar, appreciate the pro tip. 1 second. I reach out and I say, "Hi, my name's Carter. I'm not here to hurt you." And I just extend my arm out a little further, but not aggressively or anything, just very gently. Is there any reaction?
It backs up slightly, and then
Okay.
when it backs up, Oscar is actually gonna walk over and start talking to it. He's gonna be like,
Oscar, be careful, friend.
"Yeah." He sees it back up, and he's like, "Hey, look, he's just trying to reach out and make friends. Do you have any way of talking to them on their side?" And it's going to start getting a lot colder in here.
Okay.
Like, as soon as he says that, it starts getting uncomfortably cold. If you were human, you would be massively uncomfortable. You'd probably start feeling a little bit of numbing in your fingertips. You don't really hear. You just feel your whole core start to get a little chillier.
All right. Checking
And
my composure at three dots. Feeling's okay.
do you need to do you think you need to roll anything for that? For your
You tell me,
composure?
you're the storyteller. No, I feel fine. I'm purposely trying to make contact. I knew it would be
Okay.
tricky.
Do you
Yeah.
have any kind of plumbing in this room?
Yeah, it's my haven. I would assume I have something.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you had locked yourself in some kind of box somewhere.
No,
Um,
no, no, no.
okay, well, whatever plumbing you have, whatever sinks or anything like that are, you're gonna start hearing the squeak of the tap start to turn on,
Okay.
and as the hot water starts to pour down, steam is going to start coming out because of how cold it is.
All right.
And then whatever reflective surface that might be in the area that gets fogged up, your windows, a mirror, whatever, they are
Mm-hmm.
going to start drawing lines and forming words on that surface. So you
So I
can
have
read what they're saying.
I have a basic bathroom.
Okay. So yeah, on the bathroom
With it.
mirror,
Yeah,
it starts writing to you.
and I just write. I just say, "Hi." I repeat again. My name's Carter. Who are you?
It says, "Greetings, Carter," and says that its name is let's see. Which one of my friends am I going to turn into a wraith? Uh, let's see. It's going to say that its name is Kenzie.
Hi, Kenzie. It's nice to finally meet you. You've been following me for a little while, or I've been following the scales.
It's going to it's going to just write the word scales.
Kenzie, this is my home, and I want you to feel welcome in my home. And that's my friend Oscar. He and I will share this place, and you can use it however and come and go as you please. Kenzie, can you tell me anything about these scales?
Um, the word oblivion is going to be drawn out on the mirror.
Kenzie, are these scales good or evil?
She just writes the word tool.
Tool. Thank you, Kenzie. Kenzie, do you know the people who are chasing us who want these scales?
Yeah, she's just going to draw a question mark.
Hmm. Kenzie, should we keep these scales or give them back to the museum where they came from?
After a couple of seconds, she is just going to she's going to write out the word Cassidy,
Cassidy.
which was the name of that priestess you met in the
I
church.
remember. Should we take the scales to Cassidy?
She just writes the word yes.
Thank you, Kenzie. Kenzie, I don't want to trouble you anymore. I know it probably takes a lot of effort for you to speak with me. So I'm going to go speak with my friends, and then I'm going to go speak with Cassidy. Thank you very, very much. Would it be okay if I chat with you again sometime?
You get a yes written. You're running out of mirror space at this point.
That's what I figured. Thank you, Kenzie. And with that, I sort of let that conversation fade. And I look over to Oscar and, well, my friend, I think I have some information to follow up on.
I got to learn how to do that.
Do what?
The mirror trick.
Yeah, you do, my friend. It would be a really cool party trick we could bring out later. All right, Oscar. I gotta go catch up with the rest of the gang. Are you cool here?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
All right, buddy. It's always good to talk to you.
Yeah. No, you too.
All right. And with that, I'm gonna try and make my way to the rest of the group and see what they're up to.
Okay. It'll probably take you a little bit to catch up to them, but
Oh yeah, no, I fully expect to sit down for a while and
Yeah,
let the
yeah.
rest of the group.
Alrighty. I'm gonna head back over to the
All right.
Elysium section then.
I'm basically in travel for the rest of the night, I imagine.
Probably not the rest of the night. We'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possible. And most
Okay.
likely the
They're
more likely
back.
candidate.
We are
Oh,
back.
yep.
All right.
Is he dead?
I
We were
mean,
starting to think that.
We're
That was my
like,
theory.
oh
It's like
boy,
he
this
might have
is a
gotten himself
long
killed.
time.
technically he's dead.
Okay,
Aren't
okay,
we all?
that's a good point.
All right. So you guys, so Carter, while you guys were feeding and doing stuff like that, he went off on his own.
Yes.
And after that, was there anything that you guys needed to do before you're heading towards the museum?
I wanted to feed from my herd.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
from your
didn't want to
herd?
interrupt, but yeah. So
Okay.
I want to make it pretty quick and simple if possible.
Well, yeah. I
Just
mean,
to
it's
move things
herd,
along.
so you can pretty much just go do it.
So-
They're not going to fight you on that. So
Okay. I'm gonna go see Owen tonight and get a little nibble from him.
sounds good. That's actually good because you'll be passing the college area to get to the museum
Yep.
anyway.
Yep.
So you can
So I was like,
you can
yep,
grab
this will
some
be
takeout.
convenient.
That's basically how that'll work. All right. While that's happening, since we did, was there anything Derek had to do before, or anything Derek had to do before heading over to the museum?
Nope. Nope. He's not too hungry.
Okay.
So.
So why don't we go ahead and do that? Let me get Silent behind closed doors real quick to get him caught up to speed on what he should be doing, and we'll head right over to the museum. I guess the scene that we're pulling up to right now is We are at the Georgia Museum of Natural History, which is a familiar location to a few of you.
You think? No, I don't know that place at all. I was never there.
Did they fix the telephone pole yet?
Did they fix the telephone pole? Yeah, they
Yep.
got everything working again. So the it's a very strange shaped building if you check it out on Google Maps. Um, but so yeah, you arrive, and I guess it's arriving at the location would be Cade, Darby, and Derek. So how is this going around for you? How are you handling this situation?
I look at Mr. Temple. Kind of give a. Are you ready? Actually, did we? Before we actually enter that, were we told where to meet him exactly?
Uh,
At like in the museum, at the museum, nearby.
Savvy said at the museum. That's about as far
Okay,
as he said.
so probably outside of it.
This is such a weird place. There's like train tracks right up like along the front of the building. It's so strange. Very pretty. It's a very
Gives that
pretty
creep
building.
vibe.
Like it's all red brick. And I think the easiest entry is actually at this one place that's the statistics part of the building. I'm on Street View trying to find a proper entrance for this place. Is that? Huh. Anyway, so yeah, you're outside the place. What are you guys doing with that?
Just look at Darby. It's like just keep an eye out.
You got it, mate.
Gonna make sure I have my napkin picture.
Napkin picture.
Yeah, the tattoo.
Yeah.
And that I worked really hard on that.
I knew what he meant. The napkin picture.
That's fun.
Worked really hard on that. And
It
I
looks
guess,
so good. I'm gonna look at it. I'm like, it looks so good. You did such a terrific job.
we're gonna head out and meet this individual.
Okay.
What you said at the thing? You don't mean outside, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, then I'm going to get back in the car. I probably never actually left the car because I don't want unless I don't see anybody.
Oh,
I probably would just stay in the car.
I found the main entrance. So there you go.
Oh, there you go.
It's a very simple main entrance. There's like a stucco on the left side of the door, but it's red brick for the most part. There's a little black sign that says Georgia Museum of Natural History on it. And yeah, you're just standing outside this thing at the moment. Is somebody did I hear you're staying in the car?
Yes, because I don't know if they're meeting outside or in. I don't really want to be seen. So it kind of would behoove me to try to not be seen for a change, which is kind of ridiculous. But
Okay, so with Cade,
what's my stealth?
with Cade
Oh,
and
my
Derek,
stealth is
what is Cade and Derek doing if Darby's sitting in the car?
Well, I mean, at this point, I'd probably park like about a block or so away. I see that there's
there's
a parking
substantial
lot.
parking. So
Yeah, so like there's the East Campus lot, so I'll probably park over in that general area.
okay, so you park across the street.
Yeah. And from the outside, just kind of like take a look to see if there's any lights on in any parts of the building that might be an indication as to where we should be looking for this Monroe individual.
If you look through like the glass doors and stuff that you can see, there's no windows.
Okay.
But you do see some glass doors. There are display lights on, but there's no overhead lights on.
Okay. All right. Are the front doors locked or unlocked?
The front door is in fact locked.
I'm gonna take a look around, see if there's anybody lurking.
Lurking.
seen or unseen. Because it sounded like we were going to meet them probably outside the building, but who knows?
You give me a wits and awareness. See if you can find anybody lurking.
Oh yeah, this always works out well for me.
Tell me if he sees me. Tell him if I'm lurking.
Darby is just missing. Oh dear lord.
Real quick, do I understand
Nope.
correctly? This is the Museum of Natural History.
Yes.
That would be a fat no.
That'd be a fat no. Why don't you go ahead and give me a wits plus aspects as well
All right.
while you're snooping around?
Aspect. I have 1 in aspect,
Okay.
so it's gonna be the same thing. That's a fat no.
It's a fat no. Okay.
Almost the same numbers.
Okay, so then, yeah, no, you don't really notice anything. All right, and let's see, just double checking something. Okay, cool, we're good. All right, so yeah, no, you don't find anybody snooping around anything other than yourself, and it's just you and Derek standing outside.
I do want to look to see if there's any new or like security cameras. I want to see what's around here. Like, do I see any obvious cameras like above the door?
There
on
are
stuff?
obvious cameras now. There were not before. They've upgraded their security.
I'd like to move us away from those views. If we've entered into those views,
Okay, what do you say to Derek?
I just say we should probably move a bit away.
Okay.
I don't know if there's like a section of the building, like a corner of the building that might be a bit of a blind spot, maybe not near entrance or whatnot.
There's a small corner towards the like the southeast that is awkward and small. That seems to be outside of like
Yeah, let's head over there.
yeah. There's like when you turn that little corner, again there's a sign that says Georgia Museum of Natural History. There's a little staircase that goes up to what looks like maybe the second floor. Directly, maybe a fire escape or something. There's a really obnoxious yellow flickering sodium style light above that door. A humming little wall unit air conditioner. And then another door that you would have to take a little ramp to get up to. That has like a small, like, when I say small, sorry, a thin, like floor to top of the door window to the left of the door. Aside from that, there's just like a bike rack over here.
At least we'll. Once we get there, it's like I just wanted to make sure we are outside of the camera's view.
I can respect that.
There is one camera over here, but it's pointing directly towards the parking lots, and not where you would be standing.
Okay, that's good. I don't know if they're inside or not. I thought we might be meeting them outside of the building.
There is a scent of cigarette smoke in the air in this corner also.
Yeah, look to the ashtrays.
No ashtrays. There's no ashtrays over here. There's a few butts on the ground, but they look like they've been there for a while.
Well, my check already failed, so I'm not going to try to double down.
I appreciate that.
I will. Fine. I will. Like, hello. What was the character? What was the person's name we were supposed to meet again?
Monroe.
Monroe, are you there?
Cricket.
Yeah, I look at
Right.
I look at Mr. Temple.
Right. Looking around, There's no one around that we see, right?
No one around that you see, no.
Okay. All right. At this point, and we're not really in direct line of the cameras, right?
No, the camera's pointing into the parking lot. That's
Cool.
right behind you.
Cool. I'm going to go ahead and activate Eyes of the Beast,
Okay.
just to see if I can get a better vantage or view of everything.
You definitely see things a little bit better.
Sure.
Not sure what you're gonna pick up in this little area at the moment. Inside, however,
Hmm.
someone is being told that there are people outside. So after a couple of seconds, two men are going to come to the door that's lower. There's this little ramp that you can go up that has the window next to the door, and this uh, tall, thin, very he looks like he might be athletically built underneath the suit that he's wearing. He looks like he is very much a supporter of hair care products. Um, lots of stuff going on with this guy's head. Um, but he opens up the door and comes out. He has another person with him. If Silent, if you would like to describe your character.
Yeah. He is. I mean, I put a picture in the character profiles. Uh, Kind of a younger, um, late 20s, looking kind of just unassuming, like average Caucasian male. Uh, got a good tan, nice stuff. Like his stubble is like seems like he's very perfectly groomed. His hair is purposefully kind of like that style, messy style. And he's just wearing like a nice casual T-shirt and jeans.
He's a
And
character who looks like he'd belong on Supernatural.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sorry I didn't say this before until Silent had said like typical casual guy, like typical Caucasian guy. I hadn't considered saying anything. The other guy looks like he might be of mixed descent.
the only thing that really stands out beyond casual appearance is he has these very prominent amber colored eyes.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine right now because Derek's got Eyes of the Beast going.
Well, I was
Yeah.
about to say, when I see people come into the door, I'll extinguish that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they're just they just stand up where the railing is by the door, and they look down at you. Can we help you?
Yes, Monroe.
Yes. You have me at disadvantage.
Hello, my name is Cade Blackstone. Um,
Blackstone.
I will not introduce Derek. I will let him do that if he wishes.
I'm Derek Temple.
We have a mutual acquaintance that said that you might be able to assist with some information.
Okay. He's looking at the two of you for a couple seconds, and he goes, "I know the name Blackstone. I know that name from somewhere." But Derek
Uh,
Temple, you run uncensored, don't you?
I do.
He comes down the little stairway ramp thing and comes over to shake your hand. I've been to your place. It's nice.
Oh, thank you. Any particular part of the venue that you find the most interesting?
Um, I gotta say I enjoy just the people. The atmosphere is really nice. It's something that Athens needs, in my opinion.
Couldn't
Regardless
agree
of
more.
whether or not Athens agrees.
Well, sometimes you got to just spook the straights.
Absolutely. So, how can I help you, gentlemen?
Actually, if I could, real quick, when he says "spook the straights,"
Hmm.
I want to interject and go, "Well, with eyes like those, it wouldn't be hard to spook too many people at all."
Hmm.
Oh, come now, Michael. We're among friends.
I know. I was just letting them know we were.
Yes. I do not want to take your whole evening or anything. We're actually inquiring about a mark that we recently found. I believe Mr. Temple was very interested in having a theme, and we were wondering about this.
Is this why Savvy's been calling me?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, he's called me like 5 times. I was just really busy. I haven't had a chance to answer it. Okay. Yeah, come on inside. And he'll start heading back up the stairs.
Perfect. I'll follow.
Cade will follow. Probably a little bit nervous, just given what happened last time here.
Michael will wait out on the little step and hold the door for everyone. And he'll be the last one to go in.
Okay. All right. You are led like right after you walk through the door. That door leads to like where there's a few desks set up. It looks almost like just kind of like maybe just a spot where like secretaries and phones and all that stuff. But Monroe just sits in one of the chairs that has a desk lamp on already, very light, very light lighting in this place. And he gestures for you guys to take a seat. There's enough chairs for everybody in here, plus a few more. So, what symbol? What are we talking about?
I will take out the fantastically drawn image that I did earlier, and like with almost like a beam of pride, put it down.
He'll notice the amount of flourish you have.
Yes, like kind of like flatten it out and everything before sliding it over.
Derek wants to appear like he's really like paying attention to the surroundings, but wants to pay very, very close attention to this guy's reaction when he sees the symbol that's being presented.
Well, when he finally starts looking at the symbol and not just like enjoying the "please hang my macaroni" picture on the refrigerator,
Yeah,
Dad.
That's
right.
That Cade has.
Oh God!
At first he looks a little confused at what he's looking at.
Mhm.
I am going to go ahead and give him a roll and see if he knows what the hell he's looking at here.
I'll be I'll be finding it hilarious if the plot device doesn't know.
Oh, that's funny.
Send us all the way here, and then he doesn't actually know.
That would be great.
There's no clues, just a big waste of time.
This is stuff I
not
like to do
a
too.
waste of time.
Player-wise, no. The characters might think so, though.
What kind of role would it be to recognize the symbol?
This is going to be intelligence plus either academics or occult.
Okay.
Do you want to give that a shot too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would my specialization for academics apply?
No, not for this one, unfortunately.
Okay.
Unless you have like kindred academics.
I just have research as like a general.
You too.
Yeah.
Doesn't have mummiology.
Did you remember your hunger, my friend?
I didn't.
Because you've got two
What
successes
hunger?
right now.
What hunger?
Right.
Oh.
I'm gonna spend
Oh
that
my.
willpower. Okay, that's at least one more. Let's see.
Oh, I have a question for the GM because this just perked my brain.
Yes.
If we spent willpower in the last session, did we earn that back since it's a new session, or are we keeping it from going? Are we keeping it from last time?
You'll recover it next time.
Okay.
Because this is just one night that we've done so far.
I kind of think that might be the case.
Yeah.
Just wanted to check.
I'm happy to do the whole you refill either your resolve or your composure whichever is higher, in between game sessions.
Okay.
But if it's the same night, I'm gonna be mean.
Nope. That makes sense to me.
All right. So what was your success for Michael Silent?
3.
3. We both got 3. I've seen this. I don't remember where. It's been a really long time. Where'd you get this?
Some guys who came to the club earlier tonight had it on their person. It's kind of funny. I was trying to think of a new theme that I could possibly present to the club or have presented in the club in a couple of weeks. And when these guys came in, and I thought Egypt.
Okay.
Sabby suggested that I investigate, or it's
So
not
were these
ask.
clientele?
Not my usual.
Huh. He's gonna get up, but it's like one fluid motion. He kind of like rolls back in his chair and kind of just stands up with an odd little flourish, and he starts walking out of the room. He does not ask anybody to follow him. He does not say anything. He just starts walking. Um, but he does leave the doors open as he's going, so it's up to you.
Cade will follow curiously.
Derek stands up and looks to Michael. Does he do this often?
Storyteller?
Um,
Is this a sign of intellectual inspiration that he just gets up and walks off?
he's probably going to check his books.
Okay. Yeah.
Cade will stop at the threshold, not to be rude or anything, but like seeing if it's like a invitation to follow or whatnot. Because I was actually thinking the same thing.
He doesn't say anything. He literally just starts walking. When he gets into the next room, he starts digging around in his pocket and he pulls out a very large ring of keys and just pulls out his right key, opens up a door that's a little bit further into the room, leaves that door open too, and then just walks in. And
Cade will look back
there's
to
a
everyone
sign
else.
on it that says employees only.
Okay. Cade will stay back then. He will come join them back sitting down, kind of giving a look.
Michael will have a seat, like one of the desks, just kind of casual, just very casually. Just so you run a club?
I do.
What was the name of it? I apologize.
Uncensored. It's
I
I liberated an old church, if you will.
okay. Hence Scare the Straits. Okay. I'm guessing it's a pretty exotic place.
It's I think that's a good description of it.
Is it fangs out or?
It's not. At least not upstairs. Downstairs, it gets a little bit more interesting.
Okay. He'll look over to Cade. What about you?
Me? Oh, I'm a simple professor at the university here.
Oh, okay.
And
What
yourself?
do you teach? Oh, well, what do you teach?
I teach various occult excuse me, occult topics throughout the world. Very interesting and broad spectrum indeed. Usually each semester I focus on one region.
Oh, what are you focusing on right now?
Currently it's ancient African studies and rituals.
Very cool. You ever been to Egypt?
I cannot say I have been. I have
mean-
studied their language and hieroglyphics mostly out of curiosity, and of course, they have a plethora of topics of the occult that are fascinating and interesting, let alone their mythology.
Okay, so as you guys are talking, you're eventually going to hear him go, "Ha!" Like from like way downstairs. He apparently had gone underneath you guys. You can hear it coming up from the floorboards, and then you hear his quick steps come up a metal staircase, and he comes around the corner holding a rather well-worn leather book.
Can I see what the binding says, if there is one, or like a title on it?
Sure. The it says uh journal.
Okay.
It says journal XXXV11, and then it
What is the
says C Beckett. Why are you laughing there, Kate? Why are you laughing? What's so funny?
no reasons? No reasons.
um, but yeah, he comes in with this book. It's open, and he throws it down on the desk, kind of haphazardly. He really needs to be a little bit easier with these books. A couple of pages look like they're about to fall out when he does it. And
Cade does look a little like aghast at that. Like, okay.
Michael also looks a little like annoyed, probably more than anything.
yeah, the value of this book is not something that should be ignored, and he's just tossing it around.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say you probably didn't wear your gloves when handling that either, did you?
Oh, we don't have oils on our skin. And
Doesn't matter.
that's why you wear gloves. And he points at like an almost perfect replica of the drawing.
Hmm.
I knew I
What
saw
language
this
is it?
before. Oh, it's in
What
English.
language is it in? Okay.
It's in English.
Cade will carefully and daintily kind of turn the book so he can read it.
Yeah, it actually looks like, as old as this book is, he's towards the end of the book itself, and it looks like it's written in ballpoint pen.
Derek pulls a pair of leather gloves from his pocket and hands them to Cade to placate our other friend here.
Cade will gleefully place them on.
See?
And then he will get a little bit closer and actually hold the book. He still has a bit more of a holding it gently, just out of habit. Yeah, and he will read.
Well, this journal entry was taken in 1997. It's not an old journal entry in this very old journal.
Interesting.
And it goes on and on and on about a cult of Kindred that go by the name the Children of Osiris.
Cade will actually read it out loud.
Okay. Tell you what, give me 1 second. I had not considered having this ready yet. Let's see. Oh, that's almost perfect. Okay. I am just going to go ahead and send this directly to you, DJ.
Oh boy. Wasn't expecting to read out loud. That's fine.
You said you were going to read out loud.
Yeah, I know. I can sometimes. I fumble through some words.
Mm.
The group was found by Osiris, the resurrected king. Though many kindred do not believe they exist today during the final nights, those who are in authority on the children of Osiris do believe they exist in secret, under the direction of Kataman. Katamon? Katramon? Yeah. The Grand Undying King. They are known to practice a discipline unlike any other, called the Bardo, which allows a vampire to have control over the beast within. Cade will look at Mr. Temple at that. All their members come from other clans, or are caitiffs. Thus, there are hardly any neonates in their ranks. Few elders join, as the children require a high level of humanity. Their nemesis are the followers of Set. Early history, sometime around 4000 BCE, the founder of the children, Osiris, went on a spiritual journey, likely to India, to investigate deep mystical enlightenment and practice ancient methods of meditation. He was compelled to take control over the beast within, as he did not yet accept his embrace well. It probably took a millennium to develop and master his control, which became a new discipline known as Bardo. Bardo allows its practitioners to attain some degree of humanity, redeem other vampires, and ward off evil. It even has the power to resurrect a vampire from final death. Cade does pause at that and kind of looks at he'll look at Marcus, right?
Monroe.
Monroe, thank you.
Yeah,
I got that
Monroe's
wrong.
sitting at the desk with his like elbow on the desk, with his head resting in his hand, with this big shit-eating grin on his face.
Yeah, Cade looks really surprised at that last thing he just read. And then he continues. After gaining mastery of it, Osiris preached his newfound way to other kindred, thus forming the children of Osiris bloodline. Osiris granted his children knowledge of Bardo, a discipline very difficult to master, whom secrets are never shared with outsiders. Because Bardo gives a vampire a sense of humanity, it is greatly looked down upon by most vampire clans, especially the followers of Set, who despise the thought of preserving humanity. Cade looks up at our ministry member here,
Yeah,
kind of giving a questioning look.
he's just shaking his hand. He's like, slander.
Yeah, no, Derek is actually also has this like look on his face like, are you serious?
Well,
Like,
technically it's in
this
print,
is
so it's libel.
yeah.
The children view the followers as other evil that needs to be destroyed. Thus, both groups have waged private wars for millennia as their founders slumber. In one such battle between Set and Osiris, when the pharaohs ruled, Set forced his brother and Childer into torpor through magic, then rent the body into pieces and scattered the mystically preserved limbs across the kingdom of Egypt to prevent Osiris from walking again. Extreme, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Osiris's wife and first childer, Isis, found the parts and reassembled them. Then, together with the other children, used Bardo to restore Osiris to unlife.
Well, they found most
Well,
of him.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a part missing.
There's a little bit of a piece missing.
Just a little.
Not much he's doing with it in Undeath, and all things
oh,
considered.
jeez. Oh boy. However, Osiris's rebirth came at the cost of sterility, as already pointed out, apparently. Osiris returned unable to sire childer or create ghouls. His children pay homage to their founder's change by reframing from the embrace, instead taking in Caitiff and other castaways to expand their numbers. Sometime in the second millennium BCE, after a final battle with Set, Osiris entered the underworld where he remained dormant until he was awakened by the sixth great maelstrom. Um,
And then the
Cade
only other thing on that page is the drawing of the
Cade would like to, if he can, roll a intelligence plus occult for the maelstrom statement.
Oh, sure.
I was actually going to ask. I would also like to roll for
By
that
all
one.
means. I'm always happy to let people expand their knowledge.
3. I'm only asking about a very specific. I'm only asking to roll for a very specific reason.
Yeah.
Nope, don't want to write it that way. Whoa.
Holy crap!
Okay. I don't think that
Now-
Michael's 3 is going to do anything. However, Cade.
Now, I do want to ask,
No.
I'd like to see if I am correct at a game about this. It has to do with Wraith.
Yes, it does have to do with Wraith.
Okay. All right. So I am correct. Yay. Yeah, you may go ahead and explain it.
Now,
See what I know.
what I'm going to give you is basically just you remember people talking.
Okay.
There was a situation. When was Cade embraced again?
Oh, dear. Give me one
I
moment.
think it's on your sheet, right?
Yes, it should be on my sheet. I just have to get to it.
Yeah.
Concept and lore.
Is it concept?
Embraced on
Okay.
2006.
2006. Okay, cool. So yeah, you would have heard people talking about this.
Mhm.
But like if you had looked for it written down or anything, probably would not. But you would remember some older kindred, maybe not elders or anything like that, but discussing a short period in 1999 that they referred to as the Week of Nightmares.
Okay.
They actually call it the Week of Nightmares. And basically what you get is that the only bit of information you actually pick up is the terror and the horror that was caused by the Week of Nightmares created something in the Shadowlands called a maelstrom. And you've heard them call it the sixth great maelstrom.
Okay. Well, that was more than I would have expected. Thank you.
So 3 successes. That's me. Nothing on that.
3
Just out of
successes.
curiosity.
Yeah, you're not gonna get anything on that.
Okay. Don't know anything about the maelstrom.
Yeah.
But Michael kind of chimes in. He's like, "Hey, if they take castaways, you think they would? You think I could get a premium membership in there? Or
Well, that's the thing. From what I understand, the children of Osiris are all dead.
yeah,
Like,
but so are we.
It's a defunct. No, well, like it's like dead, final death, dead.
Apparently not. These two said that somebody walked in with that tattoo or with this symbol, right?
Well, you never know. It could have been just individuals that stumbled upon a very interesting looking image and made it into a tattoo. You see it all the time, of course.
Sure, but I mean, did I misunderstand that they were asking something specific about this, or suggesting something specific with this? I only caught the tail end of your.
Cade will look at Mr. Temple.
He's still trying to figure out that all of this what sounds like bullshit to him is actually, that people actually know about some of this stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, Cade's all like, yeah, no, this is fine. This is probably real. Cade will, as the discussion continues, he will flip back to the beginning of the book to just look at some dates.
Okay. Yeah, this one goes back about 150 years or so.
And he wishes to confirm the author.
It says actually in the very front of the book, it looks like it's written in Sharpie over like old over old scrawl. Like somebody has used this repetitively, but like it looks like things have faded and stuff. But like he actually wrote down like property of Cuthred-Beckett. If if found, please return. And there's a phone number.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that my character's at least heard of the name.
Oh, Beckett's a celebrity. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
even make you throw a test for
Just
that.
the fame alone is like gonna give bonuses.
Yeah.
And he will just kind of put it back down.
But yeah, it just says property of Cuthred-Beckett. If found, please call, and there's a phone number.
Cade would like to try to memorize the number.
Go for it.
Does Michael also see the phone number?
Yeah, it's right there.
No, I'm just gonna pull my phone out and start putting it in my phone.
I'm trying to be all subtle. Just takes a photo.
I like Michael.
I think there's no subtlety to it. I'm just gonna take a dang. I'm just gonna leaning over Cade's shoulder, just typing it in his phone.
Does
So
Cade...
while they're
Sorry.
so while they're copying down this number, I or Derek just says, I mean, they came in, asked if I knew anything about recent events. They seemed interested in some Egyptian artifacts that were apparently in the news, and asking if I knew anything about them.
Okay. Does it have anything to do with the scales that were stolen from us the other night?
I think that's what they were asking.
He just
about.
like looks dead straight at you guys. They were asking about that?
They were.
That's interesting. Why would they go to your club?
That's one of the reasons why I went to Savvy.
Okay. Interesting.
Because I think that it's problematic if people are knowing to come to establishments and look for us.
All right. So how can we help with this situation? You've come all this way, obviously. It's like what, a mile and a half?
Arduous journey, I would say.
Arduous journey.
Well, to be honest, you've helped Artie very greatly in this matter.
Now, you said Cade was trying to remember it. Did you get your phone out and just type it in, or do you wanna try?
No. He's still gonna be a little on the sly. Yeah.
Okay. I need you to roll wits and insight to try to remember that.
Oh no. I might have to type it in. All right. Let's see.
Oh my god. Yeah. Please roll your 3 dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's your hunger doing?
My hunger's at 1.
Okay. Well, that's good.
If I have to get perfectionist, I will just type it in. I'll just write it on the napkin. Let me get these dice over here. Okay. Wait, that didn't come out right.
That didn't come out right. Came out interesting.
That felt right. I rolled really well.
Well, you rolled like 220 dice there, so.
I think I succeeded. 1 success.
1 success.
But not on the but no failure on the hunger dice.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, you're gonna. Let's see. Hold on. I will say
if he starts losing it, he'll start writing it on the thing.
There is a it's a you will remember the area code.
Dang it.
It has a 503 area code.
Okay.
Is that a 6 or is that a 5?
Is what, a 6 or a 5?
Oh no, I'm just misremembering numbers on that.
Oh.
So, once again, he will kind of go over the information one more time, just like, look through, see if there's anything else that he missed, any scribbles off to the side, anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like a handwritten journal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's going to be like little messages here and there and stuff like that. Maybe some locations and stuff like that written around that are in Egypt, most likely.
It's got like a little note like Amadeus owes me $5.
Yeah, there's like a little line that skews out from one part that writes, and he writes like Himalayans question mark. Like, yeah, there's just like weird stuff.
So these guys came asking specifically for the scales? Or asking if you knew anything about them?
That's what they came to ask.
If you knew anything about the scales.
And let me just make sure that I understand correctly. The cult that uses this symbol, the children of Osiris, they're enemies to the followers of Set, the ministry.
They used to be.
Cade wishes to ponder in his head a little bit. So this is a little internal monologue, but to the storyteller. So Cade saw a golden aura around these individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Did he spot fangs on them at all? I don't recall
Not
seeing
that you
fangs on them.
remember, but like the fangs also, they're retractable. Like if they had them, they could have put them away.
But they seem to be mortal from what was also indicated.
They had a
Because he
very
also
bright
said I'm
aura.
mortal. Because he also said I'm mortal.
That's true. He did.
Now I'm gonna continue. Now you say used to be.
Yeah, used to be. They're not supposed to be around anymore.
And yet somebody's up walking around brandishing their symbol on their arms.
Yep, seems to be. I mean,
Well, now
how hard is it to...
you got a long-lived enemy you didn't tell me about? I'm hurt.
I don't have a long-lived enemy. I've never even met any of these things.
I'm just giving you shit, dude.
I'm just
Look,
saying, like, how hard is it to actually extinguish our kind?
incredibly,
I
from
mean,
what I understand.
there's salubri walking around in courts now. Like, those were thought to be extinct. I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't, child of Osiris running around somewhere.
If you don't mind me asking, what were their overall? Do you know what their overall goals were as a group?
Again, personally, I never actually interacted with them at all.
You seem to be a bit more educated on them than us.
No, I know they're here. Or I knew they were here. That's pretty much it. That's as far as my knowledge goes when it comes to them. I know that they came from Egypt as well. I know that there's lots of... I mean, you're going into antediluvian stories here. We're talking about, like, the mortal brother of my clan's supposed antediluvian.
Yes. Now, please correct me if my assumption is wrong. You obviously are tied to the museum, given that we are in here. And it is a shame that a theft happened here.
It's okay. My partner says he has some leads.
Does he look over at Michael or anything?
No, he doesn't look at
Okay.
Michael.
I was just wondering if that was like a trigger for that. But has anybody attempted to steal them prior to this event?
Oh, no. In fact, the intention here was when it came through with the Tutankhamun exhibit was for it to get lost and stay in the museum. So we had a theft which stopped our theft.
Interesting.
Oh, annoying.
It just seems rather interesting.
Now, luckily, we already
it
had
would
the
be-
insurance thing covered for it, so that's a little bit easier.
That helps, of course.
It would also, I think it would be incredibly funny if, like, someone just bought the scales and then just, like, left. That would be hilarious.
Monroe just like looks at Michael with
Yeah,
a straight
Cade's
face.
actually looking at me and I'm like, I'm not sure I get the humor in that, but
Why is that funny?
Well, you
How
got
much do you
paid.
think that they would go for?
They stopped their theft stopped your theft.
I see.
And then if someone were to just buy the scales and then
Mhm.
fly to another city, everybody who's here chasing after them would just be chasing their own tail, and I think that's actually really funny.
Sometimes we disagree on humor.
I mean, you already okay? So you still okay? I forgot you still wanted them, to be
Yes, I
honest.
still want the scales.
I'm just saying
What's so important with them besides the fact that
they're old.
they're old?
No, they are a valuable artifact and a piece of history.
They are a valuable artifact, a piece of history that belongs to my clan. I would like to get it back in the proper hands.
To your clan?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Look, all I'm saying is, what's your clan gonna do with a pair of dusty old scales? You guys, I get it. You're into old things because you have to be. I'm in it because I enjoy it. If you get the scales back, I'm just saying I'd make it worth your while. Now's not the time to do this, huh? All right. He just turns around, like does a lap around the room.
Cade
Anyway.
looks at Michael and says, "Are you an antiquity dealer?"
I am.
Ah. And what type of antiquities do you normally deal in?
Yes. I don't really have a preference. I find that a lot of things in the world have a lot of interesting stories, and that's really what I'm in it for, is the stories.
Yeah, Michael here is one of the foremost antiquarians that I know.
Do
Aw.
you deal in the more mundane or the more kindred specific?
Like I said, everything has a story. That's what I'm in it for, is the story.
That is fair.
Every little piece has some history, some motivation, some reason behind it. I like to think that learning that stuff brings us a little closer to the creator's original intention.
I can appreciate that train of thought.
Now, while this conversation is happening, sorry to interrupt, I want to take a look at outside with Darby in her car.
Oh, why do you want to do that?
Because you haven't.
I'm just sitting here.
Because you've been
Darby's just
you've been
Darby's
so
just
quiet
sitting
and
here.
patient.
Too quiet.
Well, I mean,
It's good to go back
Darby's
to the
just
others.
sitting in the car. Nothing's gonna happen, right? Nothing bad could possibly happen at this point, right?
Actually, at this point, with Carter knowing exactly where you guys were and heading to catch up, I think now would be a good time for Carter to probably be seen walking through the parking lot of this place, and Darby seeing him coming into view.
I was gonna say Darby was probably just watching some raccoons go into a trash can.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds sure.
But then
Sure.
But then there's
Why
Carter.
not? Like, so Darby wants to jump out and get his attention, but then she's also trying to be sneaky, so it's like,
I mean, you could always flash
what
your
do I do?
headlights.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's sneaky.
I mean, it's sneakier than getting out of the car and getting
Hey,
that
over
car.
here.
But it's Darby. What do you think she did? Alright, fine, she'll flash the lights. I'll be boring.
Carter
Come on,
notices the blinking.
I haven't screwed over this character yet. There's not much time left to do it.
All right. So
Carter
yeah.
notices the blinking and walks towards the vehicle.
I wave at him from inside the vehicle. And
Is Darby, how are we this evening? Where's the rest of the gang?
I make sure make sure the doors are unlocked to the car, and obviously I hope you would get in because I'm inside the car.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get in, you ask that. Where's the rest of the gang? They're still talking. They're still talking, as far as I know, to what was his name? Monroe. Oh yeah, it's right, Monroe. Assuming it's him.
Did you meet this Monroe guy, or is it just the boys?
Oh, it's just them. Remember, I'm a little too obvious. You're probably a little too obvious too, since we're the two that actually stole the scales.
Yeah, that's probably true. So what have we learned at all?
I don't know. They haven't come out yet. What have you Where'd you go off to? You were
I had to
checking them
go
out.
I had to go make a phone call to someone, and we got a lot of information that might be useful. But I'm going to wait and let everyone know at the same time. And I want to find out what they learned first.
I know. I'm the one that really isn't going to add to this conversation.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Any,
no suspicious activity or anything outside, right?
yeah, no signs of trouble. All right,
Can I get a wits plus
Wait.
aspects from Carter?
done. Which will be the very next thing I use my XP for? 2 plus prospects. Oh, 1.
It's a beginning, like it's an early game. Like you guys can have lower.
Yeah. Oh, look, whoa. 3 successes.
Wow.
I think that's one success.
Oh, 1 success. Sorry, my math was aggressive.
It's
It's
six
6.
and higher. 6 and higher.
Mhm.
It's okay though, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to notice that at the various entrances that you can probably see. Let's see, you see that door, the other one. You can probably see like 4 entrances to the building from where you're sitting,
Mhm. Mhm.
and there are like 2 wraiths posted at every door, and they're just like sitting there smoking.
Ooh.
They look like they're just smoking cigarettes and talking.
Okay.
They all seem to be fairly well-dressed wraiths, and they're just sitting there.
They've been there the whole time, right?
I mean, you can't see them, but yeah.
Oh,
They-
they're unseen. Okay.
They don't look anything like the ministry. Well, the former guys in suits that we saw from
No. These guys just like these are your stereotypical run-of-the-mill mooks.
mooks. Okay. Darby, I don't want to alarm you, but we have some additional voyeurs with us tonight of the afterlife variety.
What? What do you mean? Ghosts?
We have ghosts. We have ghosts with us, Darby.
We.
And I might.
I start
wanna go-
looking around, like like I can, like where they ride, like in the car with us, or I start looking for that, even though I can't see a freaking thing.
No, they're posted at the doors like sentinels, or like someone watching the door, like checking the escape.
Well,
Cool.
I mean, they're probably just security for the building. If they've posted at the doors, most
Do you know
people
many
can't see.
buildings? Do you know many buildings, especially university buildings, that need undead security guards?
I don't know. It depends on what's in them. Maybe there's something big in there. Of course, we kind of got the something big that was in there.
Well, the thing that's big in there right now is our friends.
Well, if there's gonna be trouble, hopefully they make their way outside. As far as I know, I haven't heard anything. We have our chat. I would assume if there was trouble, they would have tried to text. I assume we're all texting on. I believe we have a text channel, don't we?
Yep. Darby, I'm gonna go have a chat with them. You can come with me, but I don't think we need to punch ghosts.
I mean, is that a good idea? We kind of just returned to the scene of the crime. You don't think this is a bad idea to get? Can you change your appearance?
No, I can't. But your point is taken. But yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a bad idea for us. I've been hiding in the car the whole time, just keeping an eye out.
Looking again at these ghosts, they're by their posture. Can I tell? They're guarding? Is that what they look like?
They're just standing outside the doors. There's 2 of them per door.
Yeah, we're at the museum, right? So okay. I mean,
The weird
they
thing
just
is, though, they have cigarettes.
that's friggin' yes. Well, I wouldn't know.
I don't know if all of them are smoking, but like a couple of them are, and it's really odd
I
because
really,
yeah.
I relay that to Darby just for shits and giggles, really. But
What? They're
smoking.
okay. They'd be like us. I guess it'd be no different than one of us smoking. It's not gonna really
Yeah.
do much of
When was the
anything
last
other.
time you had a smoke?
Oh Lord, I haven't even thought about this.
Now, for Carter, real quick, the weirdest thing about this whole thing is actually Wraiths getting cigarettes,
Yeah.
because it's the whole concept of things that have emotional buildup are going to be the things that are on the other side, and nobody loves a specific cigarette enough to give it that much energy. It's like
Right.
the concept of like even with Oscar, like your friend Oscar. We'll just go with
Mhm.
that. He has a gun, but he has no bullets because nobody loves the
Right.
bullets individually. You know?
Right. Right.
I mean, I just figure they
I got
smoked in
fun.
life and just old habit. Does Darby smoke? I've never really actually thought about that one. That's a small detail. Nah, she's into to staying in shape. So I've never smoked.
Well,
I'm too into too into staying in shape, and you gotta be good physical. You can be a good physical form to do what I do. Um, but is it entirely possible the fact that there was a theft here that they brought in extra security because they're afraid, well, we might come back?
yeah, you're entirely right.
Wow, I'm right about something? Well, it's first time for everything.
Which means I'm going to do something that's probably entirely wrong.
What? Oh, well, what do you
Darby,
want to do?
do you got a quick line on the boys there?
A quick line. You mean like a text?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I can
Let
text
them
him.
know I'm here.
Sure. All
I'm
right.
gonna.
Sorry,
I get.
I will. I mean, you can text him too. Or would you forget your phone?
Well, I don't want to be seen texting. All I'm gonna do is get out of the car,
Okay, I'll
walk
text him.
closer to them, and see if they move. And if I give you the signal, and the signal is, I'm just gonna flash my middle finger downwards, like oh, I'm fucked. Uh, that means I'm fucked.
Like,
Uh,
what? What am I gonna be
and
able
if
to do?
I,
I can't see them.
well, that means I'll probably start running. But if I flash a peace sign, that means I'm okay.
Oh, okay. I'll text. I'll just throw a text down that says, uh, Carter's here. Right, Christian's here.
No, it's
Damn
Carter.
it,
Carter's it.
Carter's here.
Carter. Oh, you changed it. I'm sorry because
All right,
originally you had
let's
the
face it.
parentheses
If you're
around the
gonna
other name.
no, if you're gonna text it, it's Carter's back.
Carter's back. Oh, that's right. He came with us, and then did you?
No one's getting it. Okay.
Oh, Carter's back. Oh, you're terrible.
All right. Carter gets out of the
Brain.
car
Uh-huh.
and walks slowly but confidently towards the first set of double doors, or first set of the doors that's closest to me, with two of them out there smoking.
Okay.
In particular, one with someone smoking.
Yeah, this
And I
this
don't
is
go
a
straight up to them,
this
but I
is a
just wanted to see
strange.
if they react to me.
Okay. This is a strange little like enclave area. There's a
Mhm.
light. There's a stairway that looks like it goes up to like the second floor, and
Mhm.
a small staircase, a small stairway that goes up to elevated to the first floor, and a little bike rack down here. It's not that big of a deal. It's the same. It basically is the same door area that like they went in. Um,
Mhm.
but there's only two wraiths here. It's like it's I guess it would be considered the weak point because there's two doors and only two wraiths. Um,
Right.
but you start walking over, and they look over at you, or one of them looks over at you, and that one like kind of like taps his buddy on the shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, look at this guy," and and now you have sensed the unseen, so you
Yes.
can see basically these forms, and you can see what they're doing, but you can't interact, you can't hear them
Right.
unless you utilize something else.
Scene is best I got. Otherwise, I have to do a ceremony for summon spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got nothing else. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got nothing else for that.
Okay, so you really
Is
can't
that
tell if they have, like, they don't look to be coming at you hostilely, but they're also not hiding.
right?
So, yeah, how are
All right.
you
So
doing anything?
confident. I'm not aggressive in any way. Kind of wave. Hey, fellas, what's up?
Yeah, they just kind of look at each other and then back at you for a second.
Right. Look around. Point towards the door and then towards myself and indicating, mind if I go through?
Now, usually wraiths are skittish, to say the least, around Kindred, but these two are just kind of like there, and
Right.
they look to where you pointed. And they look at each other, and then one of them kind of like walks over and then goes through the door.
Walks over and goes through the door.
Yeah.
I will
And
slowly follow. I'll flash Darby the peace sign.
Oh, I don't know
Forward.
about that. Well, the player doesn't know about if this is actually a good thing because I think they're going to get somebody. I think
I
you've been
will.
pinged, but that's what I know. Not what Darby knows.
I will flash Darby the peace sign
Yours-
and slowly walk towards the door.
okay,
I'm gonna duck
now
behind. I'm gonna duck down, even though he flashes his piece.
as you're walking
They've
back,
been probably watching me the whole friggin' time.
as you're walking up the stairs towards that door, flash inside real quick. So while you guys are having this conversation about the sign and like who these people might be, uh, the computer on the desk is going to start typing by itself. And Monroe is going to look at it and go, Jesus fucking Christ, what now? And he looks at the screen and he goes, oh, okay, there's another one out here. You want to get that door? And who's ever closest to the door, he's going to say, you want to get that door real quick?
Cade
think-
will look over at the computer
Uh-huh.
when he sees it typing by itself.
Yeah, it's typing by itself.
I assume this kind of thing happens a lot around here.
I mean, the other person who's involved in this museum is a Giovanni.
Okay, so yeah. Michael was. I think I said last. Michael was just up doing a lap around the room because he was being pestering
Yeah.
to Monroe. So he'll just he'll stop and kind of pivot on one foot and just open the door.
Yeah, you open the door just as Carter is coming up to the top of the stairs because we're like right there.
Oh.
So, friend of yours?
Does this person look familiar?
Yes.
The blurry photos that Monroe showed you earlier was what looked like kind of a punkish woman, but
Mhm.
big, like she's like muscular and built. A smaller figure, but again, it's blurry, so it's hard to make out anything. And the other one is bald.
Oh.
That's the most distinguishing feature in this
Fair.
blurry photo. So, yeah, I mean, you could make the assumption.
If bold is all I have to go off of, I'm gonna need probably, in all fairness, suspicious, but maybe need more than that.
Yeah, yeah.
Michael just opens the door.
Oh, hello there.
Friend of yours?
Sorry, we've not met. I'm looking for a couple friends of mine.
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah, you walk in and you just see Cade and Derek in here.
Fellas, how's it going?
Cade just looks at Carter and Darby and says, hello. How are you?
Well,
Good.
this isn't awkward.
Why does this feel like like some kind of weird family reunion that I wasn't aware of?
No. I just wasn't expecting anybody else.
Sorry, I've come unannounced. I got off that call I was on, and yeah, it proved to be more profitable than I expected.
That's good.
Just came to see if I can contribute in any way. Otherwise, I can step back outside.
Michael shuts the door.
Okay, so
Have a seat.
yeah.
Not a seat, but to bluff of confidence.
So, Case, I don't know if you wish to indulge us in what interesting events have been happening to you while we've been here. Although I have found some very interesting information.
Is
This
is
has
he
been a very
involved?
fruitful visit. Let's just say yes.
Let's just say yes. Okay, well that means yes.
So in the room we have
Involved by association. He just kind of looks at Cade like, is that a fair?
Sure.
in the room we have right now. I'm imagining we have Mr. Temple, Cade, Michael, myself. Anyone else?
Monroe.
Mr. Monroe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only
Yeah.
person who's just been left in the car is Darby.
Yeah.
I feel so
Derek is
At this
unloved right
point,
now.
at this
dead.
point, I will actually quickly text Darby. Might as well just.
What? I'm gonna text him back. Are you sure it's okay?
Yes, just in
Like,
case.
do they know? Do they know?
Just come in.
I'm fine, and I've been trying to do such a good job at being sneaky, and now I'm gonna have to just go
You've done a
in
wonderful job of being
right
sneaky.
to the scene of the crime.
I don't suggest
Fine.
coming in saying that.
I'm not gonna say that, but Jesus, I kind of stand out, you know. So I guess I get out of the car and I go in. I have no idea. I mean, when I go by the front door, you know, because I was told there are these two ghostly guards there, and I just kind of look side to side, maybe kind of
Yes.
shiver a little bit.
As you're
and
walking
then,
up, the door opens by itself for you.
oh well, thank you very much, and I'll go in.
Just to also be completely transparent, this is also our associate Darby. She was waiting outside.
Yeah, she's the bouncer over at the Velvet thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Velvet Veil.
Think of her as a representative of Savvy.
Okay.
That's fair.
I look over at Michael and I say, "So you must be Mr. Monroe? Is that it?"
No, that'd be him.
He just
I'm Michael. You are?
My name's Carter.
And you're from, so are you guys like a coterie or?
I guess you could call us that. Very
Kate kind
forward,
of
but
looks at
sure.
each of them, kind of blinking with like that sudden realization, like, oh.
Derek just says no.
Well, I mean,
Derek
technically, you were sent here by the Baron to get some questions answered, and so that would make you at least a little bit of a gang or a coterie, at least, while you're working together. Doesn't all have to be friendship and lollipops.
I guess
And
that's
Darby's
true.
like really tall, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do I walk in at this point?
You've seen Deadpool, right?
Uh-huh.
Angel Dust.
Okay, very cool.
Like that size.
Yeah.
MMA fighter. You know, it said, unlike the
I think
player, I'm
actually-
like tiny compared to
I think Michael actually makes like whispers under his breath when Darby walks in, just she's gonna do a superhero landing.
She's just walking in, though. She's not going to
Yeah,
do
no.
it.
No,
She's not going to jump in and do a 3-point landing.
he doesn't say it loud enough to like
That's hilarious.
necessarily contribute it to the conversation, but anyone paying attention to Michael definitely hears him say it.
Oh my god. It's so going to happen now. Going to have to do it at some point
Oh,
in the
don't
future.
worry.
We have a fight.
We'll throw you off a building at some point.
Just
So,
take heroic leap. Take heroic leap.
You can certainly try. Okay. So I walk in. I go, you rang?
Yes, I
Looking
figured
at
at this
Cade.
point, might as well just have everyone.
Is
here.
this the whole gang?
No more out, like nobody else.
You got anybody else hiding somewhere?
No,
Not that
not as far as I know. I mean, I
Yes.
was the only one left in the car.
I was about to say, not that I'm aware of.
You know, maybe if it's maybe there's a ghost around that's hiding. I don't know.
Nah, don't worry about them.
They were very considerate. They opened the door for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're
not
super
used to
polite.
that often.
Oh yeah.
That's very nicely. Treated me very well.
Well, after the robbery the other day, we had to kind of up the security on a few different levels.
So when he says that, Darby kind of looks pleased with herself because she sort of guessed that was the reason.
Mm-hmm.
But the only to probably understand that look is Carter.
Carter just gives an agreeable nod. Yep, can understand. Yeah, that makes
So-
sense.
It makes sense. Yep.
All right. So you're points to Cade. You're a professor. Points to Derek. You're a club owner. Points to Darby. You're a bouncer.
That's right.
Points to
Wait,
Carter.
do you know me?
No, I heard him say you were a bouncer. And points to Carter and you.
Race car driver, F1 team, top of the world.
Are we making the new updated village people? What the hell's going on?
Darby looks really confused at that statement. What?
How about you introduce me to yourself first before I give all my cards?
Yeah, who are you?
I already said I'm Michael.
Oh, so that must be Monroe.
Yeah,
he just waves. Monroe just waves at you.
he's the one you guys are actually here to see, I presume. I'm just here because where else
Well,
better to be?
Well, yeah. Yeah, my boss sent us here to talk to him. Maybe he has some helpful information. Did he have any helpful information?
Exceedingly, actually.
Excellent.
Well, I'm glad that I was helpful for you guys. What do I get out of this?
Do you need a bodyguard?
No, I have several of those.
Yeah, but see,
Well-
nobody can see them, and they can see me, and I'm scary, just as scary as they are.
Exactly. I prefer that people actually come after me. It's funnier.
You actually have gotten some good
Fair
information
point.
out of this.
Have we?
Yes, you now know that there are these potential children of Osiris
okay.
around the town, which, given the history that we have read, may greatly interest you and at least your clan.
Can someone give Carter the 20-second Coles notes? We got Children of Osiris.
Children,
That's
are they
Monroe and Michael.
mummies? Wait, are those the mummies we were talking about?
So, the symbol comes from a group known as the Children of Osiris, who have apparently some conflict with the ministry throughout their history. Were supposedly wiped out, if I'm not mistaken from what you were saying, Monroe. But
Yeah, they're not supposed to be around anymore.
Potentially have survived or potentially even resurfaced. And as was revealed, they have interest in the stolen objects of the scales that they inquired to Mr. Temple about at his club. Hence our interest in finding out who these individuals are based on the symbol that was on their body.
So we think either they stole the scales or they're looking for who stole the scales.
We think they are looking for who stole the scale.
With
So
that
we have
in
to find the
mind,
scales.
Mr. Monroe, what is it that we could help you with?
What do you think, Michael? With everything that's going on right now, what do you think would be best to have alleviated, taken off our shoulders a little bit?
Well, I mean, put it this way: you said that the children of Osiris aren't supposed to be around anymore, but that's what they said about the founders, and then the '90s happened.
Yeah,
So,
there is that.
if there really is some higher humanity practicing cult,
Well, they say that they're higher humanity. They're a cult.
right? But
Like,
you get my point is there could be something worth learning if they really are who they say they are, not just pretending to be something they're not.
I'll tell you what, I got an idea. If you end up being involved with these people again, why don't you do me a favor and just let me know? Let me know what's going on. Keep me in the loop when it comes to interactions with them, because if they are who they say they are, they could actually be incredibly dangerous for all of us. So handling them quickly will probably be our best bet. Sure.
Spoken like a
Now,
true Setite.
Well, I'm just sure that
Or they could
Savvy.
be incredibly interested.
And hey, we're Ministry now. We rebranded.
Yeah, but the saying is literally call a snake a snake. Like,
Hey, come on.
okay, all right.
Anyway,
if,
what I was
if I
saying
may
is I don't
ask,
think Savvy wants them here either.
why would you say they're dangerous to us per se?
Well, from what I was hearing, they sound
Hmm.
like they're probably mortal. They sound like they're human.
Hmm.
If they are human and they're running around with knowledge of Kindred,
Fair enough.
that's dangerous for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
hell,
what I
we
was
could
saying earlier.
Obviously,
if
we don't want the Camarilla coming down on us, thinking that we're causing problems or taking that opportunity to blame us in any fashion.
well, I was actually thinking slipping the information to the Camarilla might be the smartest idea. Let
Interesting.
the Camarilla handle the problem. They're the
I
ones
see
who are
where you're
all
going.
gong ho want to preserve the masquerade all the time.
You're not
I kind of
wrong.
like Monroe's idea right now.
That's not terrible. Although
The
I
question is
really
how to
like
present it,
thunking
though.
heads. Are there heads that need to be thunked?
I'm sure you can find some thunking to do somewhere.
Well, I will say though the hesitation with the Camarillas. I mean, not that I really care one way or the other, but are you? Is that really what the Anarchs want? The Camarilla coming in to solve their problems for
I
them
mean,
again?
by all means, talk to Savvy about it. I'm just saying that's what I would do. I am in by no means in any form of authority when it comes to anarchs. I might claim, I might claim home among the ranks, but I'm not going for any kind of leadership roles.
I wonder if there's
That's
any.
fair. Neither am I.
I wonder if there's actually any prestige in dealing with them ourselves too.
Oh, I'm sure there are, especially they seem to be hunting you. And they seem to have some kind of strange magic that controls your mood. So it
Well,
sounds like you're dealing
dead.
with some kind of magical hunters.
And would it hurt to have allies amongst the Camarilla to
That entirely
ingratiate
depends on
ourselves with the tower?
I feel
that
like
entirely
everybody's.
depends on where you prefer your shackle leashed, but
I feel like you said that, and like everybody's just kind of staring at you, and there's just one
You're like,
cricket in the
oh,
room.
Yeah,
what?
like, what's the point?
Why would I want to ingratiate myself to those people?
The Camarilla have already done my clan dirty. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not helping them in any fashion. I
That's
don't
fair.
want friends with them. I would actually prefer if they would just get the hell out of Georgia.
I'm sure all of us would feel the same way about that.
Or most of
Well,
us
most of us
would.
at least. As I look over at Carter.
If Carter's like, I just make friends with everyone. Why? We have a common problem, a common enemy, common problem.
As a
They
former
help us solve it.
as a former independent, let me tell you that eventually you're going to have to choose which side of the fence you're on.
And as a current independent, that's bullshit.
Yeah, why is that? Why do you have to choose? I mean, I chose because it just made sense.
Eventually, the cam will show you their true colors when it comes to you. It's gonna happen. I mean, what do we got here? I mean, I feel out in the open. Darby, you are obviously a Brujah. There is no doubt in my mind against that.
That's very good. I like, touch my nose, on the
Everybody
nose.
knows that I'm ministry. What else do we have in this room?
So
I'll look
she
at the other two
actually
guys.
could do the superhero landing.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I can do the super. Wait, do you say that aloud?
Yeah, no, yeah, he says it out loud.
Oh, absolutely. I can do the superhero landing.
I hear it's bad on the
Little
knees.
3-point,
Alright.
3-point landing action.
Very impractical. They all do it.
Comic
I do
book
not think it's-
proclivities aside, what do we have in the room? I'm curious.
As it's probably not much of a mystery for many, I am Tremere.
Alrighty. We got a warlock.
Derek leans forward and just says, "Tzimitzi."
A fiend. Or do you prefer a stoker? What do you like?
What about dragon?
Dragon?
Wait, yeah, dragon. Don't they hoard things? Like a dragon?
Alright, and he looks over at Carter. And you, sir.
I'm a Hakata. And I heard you mention
Oh.
before that you have friends with the Giovanni here.
Yes, actually, I do. He's not in at the moment, but I got a friend named Paulie. He helps me run things here. Now, that being said, you're Hikata, which means you've only got a couple short years left before you're gonna have to choose a side.
Or not.
He looks over at Michael. He's like, no. That promise.
No.
That promise.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. We heard what everybody else is. What about you two? Well, I think actually. Do we know
Well,
what?
I'm ministry. That's quite obvious.
It's right, your ministry. But what about him?
I'm Michael.
Yeah, what are you? What's your
I'm
clan? Come on. There's
I
no
don't-
clan, Michael.
Just like every other,
Technically,
just like every other Mike, he's just a college guy. You know,
oh, yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm just here.
he's clan
Technically,
college frat boy.
What are you?
Yeah,
Clan
up.
college frat boy.
Clan frat boy.
All
Come
right.
on, what are you?
I'm gonna double down on the snake jokes next time.
I said that because of the snake jokes.
I know. I technically don't belong to a clan anymore. He looks over at he looks to Monroe. Is that right? We're technically not a clan anymore.
Oh, you're still a clan. Give yourself credit.
What is what?
I
What?
don't really care.
Well, then,
Well,
why are you hiding?
Yeah,
No,
why? Yeah,
um,
exactly. Why are you
Kate-
hiding it? We all didn't hide it.
Michael, you got to live out in the open. Live your truth.
What are you, one of these Duskborn thin blood kind of things?
No. Although there are some really interesting people among their number. No, I'm a Ravnos. If you have to know.
Oh, I
The
don't
traveler.
have to know,
That's
but that's interesting.
Kate does look at him like, very interesting. I never expected to ever see one.
Yeah,
Aren't
we're
they rather rare.
yeah, you mentioned the thing earlier that
He's not a fucking unicorn, Cade.
Well, at this point, I'm expecting a salubri to just pop out of somewhere now.
Like I said, they're around.
which is funny because they're welcomed now.
Are they?
At least on camera lip service.
I mean, the Ravno have been doing a lot of like running between the groups and stuff. So
Yeah, like I said, I don't really care.
everybody's of welcome in the Camarilla except for the ministry at this point, though.
Like, I mean, to be quite frank, I don't really do our politics. Not that I can't, not that I don't sometimes. It's just not really relevant to me.
True.
If you could
I
excuse my
totally
curiosity,
get that. I totally
could-
get that.
if you could excuse my curiosity, and I don't mean to sound insensitive, but is your sire still around?
If you're asking if my sire still walks, yes.
Oh, impressive.
I was, I didn't. If you're really what you're really asking is, was I there in the '90s? No. I mean, I was, but I wasn't.
Oh, the dreaded week of nightmares.
I've
I
heard
know about it. I
some
know.
things.
I know enough about it to know that it wasn't pretty.
But you
Well,
didn't experience it.
you know, mass
No,
plan,
unfortunate.
genocide, you know.
Yeah, but
That's
that's why
terrible.
that's why I was very quick to call you out on the whole. The children of Osiris aren't around anymore. It's like, yeah, well, neither were the antediluvians, and apparently they were wrong.
Yeah,
So
Monroe just kind of like points at Michael, like just like points, like he's making good points here. Like
yeah,
this is why I'm not surprised that some of them might have survived. There's lots of rumors of they all died out, or we got them, or like
No, they didn't.
I've even heard rumors that they actually succeeded in their goals and all turned human again. Who the hell knows what actually happened?
I'm not even entirely convinced that they actually killed ours.
Well, I mean, you
Like,
got
if you want my
something
honest
that's
opinion,
yeah. Well, it's an ancient monster who's known to like be the master of illusion and deception.
that and I've seen purportedly claims
Is this the fortitude
collection.
thing?
Hmm?
Is this the fortitude thing?
No, I was gonna say I've seen like a collection of vitae that was left behind after it supposedly died.
Oh, yeah, no, I've heard they're auctioning that stuff off in places.
So we're
They
doing
are.
some big discussions on antediluvians and the history of all our clans.
Well,
Yes, I'm kind of expecting like
This is just parlor talk, guys. Come on.
I'm
Where-
kind of expecting
where,
this to just turn to Nautism at this point.
Where are we
Sorry,
on the
what?
scales?
Yeah, what are we doing? What did we learn? Are we staying here or are we going somewhere to talk?
Well,
Okay, so-
you're paying Monroe back for the information that you guys got tonight by helping him find it, right? Keeping him in on the loop on what you guys figure out.
Absolutely.
I would
Sure.
really like to get those scales back.
So the scales belong to you, Mr. Moreau.
Oh no, that was actually the best part. Tell him, Monroe. I think you told it best.
Yeah,
This-
tell us.
The scales are part of the Tutankhamun display as it came through. But they were stolen.
Yeah, that part we read in the paper.
Yes. Unfortunately, they were stolen before I had the ability to make sure they were stolen.
Wait,
Oh.
what? Oh, you want them for yourself.
Absolutely.
They
Right.
were going to steal it.
So you were going to steal it and somebody stole it out
they
in front
are
of from under you?
Those are a ministry relic, and they need to be back with my clan.
Okay, I would like to wits insight Carter when he said that's what I read in the paper, right? Like,
I'm trying to stay away from that.
and Darby also like
that would be
No, you don't want to incite me.
that would be wits plus insight versus
I'm gonna resist the fuck out of that.
This is gonna go well. What is it
versus
versus?
Carter's resolve
I would have
plus
I would have
composure.
no motivation to do this if it wasn't for the fact he told me I literally saw blurry footage
Yeah.
of you guys, and
Ah,
you two
shit.
aren't exactly unique or aren't exactly like common looking individuals.
Resolve plus
Resolve plus composure.
Or
Is that what it is to roll?
composure subterfuge.
Oh yeah, if you're lying, that's true.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you're lying,
Oh God! God
composure,
damn it! You
composure subterfuge.
resolve would have been
way more
better.
dice the other way.
Yeah.
So wait, that's what it is. It's gonna be composure and subterfuge.
Yeah,
Oh, this will
'cause
go
he's
real
lying.
friggin' well. Because he says he's doing it to me too. So I guess I gotta roll. This is gonna be funny.
Always rouse.
Literally 2 dice.
Right,
I got
so
one
make it 4.
success out of that.
Oh
Damn it!
my god, I rolled atrocious.
3.
3
But
for
it's more
Carter.
than me, though. I got
I'm gonna,
one.
I'm gonna willpower because that was
No,
Perfect.
God damn it, though. What'd you get? Did you get one?
I got one.
Ooh.
I got 3.
Oh,
as well.
God damn it. That sucks because I would have friggin' tied you. No, you.
Tie goes to the active player, right?
Yeah.
So Michael wins.
Michael wins. You can tell that they're definitely hiding something from you.
I don't say anything. I just let them continue on.
Mm-hmm. They're acting suspicious.
To be
They
honest,
are suspicious.
it would be more suspicious if Kindred weren't hiding something from you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
exactly. That's
They
right.
know
Why
they
is this out of
specifically
our
they
characters?
specifically know a lot about a topic that they apparently have nothing to do with.
Yes.
All I know
As
is
is
what I read in the
normal.
paper.
Wait,
As is
I
normal
don't
for
know.
Kindred.
I don't know a lot about this topic.
Okay, friends. So what's our next move?
That is a very good question.
Well,
I look
Okay,
at
what-
Mr. Temple.
We find these
Uh,
people, and we find the scales.
The question is how we wish to go about it.
When we get the scales, we bring them to our friend Mr. Monroe here.
Oh, that would be great.
I'm sure it would be for you.
But what do we do about the other problem? It sounds like I said there's some heads that need to be thunked.
If they're
I'm
sniffing
good at
around,
thunking hits.
yeah, if they're sniffing around, we would need to know more information before we try to tackle them.
Mm-hmm.
Being informed and being aware would give us the benefit.
Well, I can look up some information on the Children of Osiris if it's actually them, but like, I don't know. It could just be a copycat cult. It's not like those things don't exist.
Well, if
I
they're copycatting, then looking up the originals would be just as helpful, wouldn't it?
I mean, unless they're just going off of style.
it's true.
Like
No,
like I said, I'll look
no,
it up. I'm just not sure what it's going to do for you.
I've been thinking about this, but wasn't going to say anything until you had more for me, buddy. But I could just, since we know that these cultists are looking for whoever has the scales,
Mm-hmm.
I could just set up a false auction. I've got the connections and the resources to make it happen.
That
Set
sounds
up a
like fun, actually.
Ooh, set up.
then whoever's looking for the scales can come around, and whoever probably has the scales will likely be there, because why wouldn't they?
Just out of interest, no one can make a fake set of scales, can they?
I would like to make a rouse check.
Okay.
As soon as Carter says that, I want him to see the scales out the corner of his eye.
Okay.
It is a manipulation obfuscate versus composure wits.
Okay.
My composure wits?
Doubt it.
Technically, it's radius, isn't it?
Um,
I think everybody in the room would have to throw that, right?
yeah, I think so.
Anyone unprepared within.
What is he
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, everybody.
What am I doing?
I think I can exclude.
What am I rolling?
It's
Composure wits.
Yeah, wits and composure. Composure wits.
Oh boy, this is gonna go well.
It's okay. The lower the
Well, at least
the
it's
outcome, the better
three.
the fun.
at least it's 3. It's one more die rolled for the last roll.
Man, I got 4 successes. Don't screw it up, Darby.
I get 3 dice to roll, okay? That's 2 successes though out of 3.
Not bad.
No, not bad, but probably not enough. Look at that! Friggin' 2 fucking 10s.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
In the right spots.
4,
too,
5,
like-
6,
Those
7,
are
8,
certainly real.
9 successes.
Jesus Christ.
Is it
Best
fair
one
to
is-
say that everybody sees it?
Everyone but Monroe.
Everybody but Monroe. Okay.
All I can say is during the auction, he's going to botch that roll.
I'm gonna try to reach out for it. Ooh,
Oh, it's
wow.
so just to clarify, it is there. Like you all see it just sitting
Yeah.
on the table in front of you for out like your periphery, and then when you look at it, it's gone. Like there's no indication
Oh,
of
okay.
who
So
did it,
just-
where it
You
came
you
from. or anything.
created an illusion of that's what we're talking about here, yeah?
It's a temporary, very brief, like fleeting passing illusion that just distracts all of you for
Some
effectively
chemistry
for
kind of
yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's just a passing, very fleeting illusion that's gone as soon as it's there.
Yeah.
So all of you get sitting on the table in front of you, but like Michael and Monroe don't seem to notice it.
Right.
But yeah, as soon as you try to make direct eye contact with it, it's gone.
I mean, I don't know, Monroe. You've got a pretty good You've got a pretty good.
What was the roll? I'll roll for it. What was it?
It's not.
What was the roll?
Wits composure.
Wits composure.
Mhm.
Well, I'll roll. I'll roll just for fun.
Okay, I
have to
was
be-
gonna
you
say
have-
Michael
you have to
wasn't.
be
Michael
friggin' 9.
specifically wasn't targeting him just because he didn't want him to see it.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Yeah, I would have failed anyway, but
Yeah. No, Michael.
Can't get 9 when you're rolling 8.
Michael.
Yes, you
Michael
can.
didn't target him.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
true.
there's always
I did-
crits.
I didn't target him specifically because Michael just it's happening as Michael's continuing the conversation from what
Ah.
Carter said of could someone make a fake copy of it?
Yeah.
He's just
and
like, I mean, you have pretty good connections with like historical societies and stuff. Do you think they have any replicas of it anywhere that maybe they've like used to show off?
Replicas, no, but I'm pretty sure that I could have one made in a day or so.
There you go. Okay. So Michael just turns and looks at everybody like he isn't aware of what happened.
We have enough photos of it. It's not a big deal.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. Right. So, what do you guys think about that? I just didn't. You curious what everyone's like initial.
Hmm.
It was a neat trick, but I mean, what's it going to do if it disappears when you look at it?
Because they're making a replica.
What are you talking about?
I just saw it on the table.
Yes,
Somebody did that. Wasn't one of us.
Yeah.
that was
Monroe's
Michael looks
just
to Monroe.
yeah. Monroe's just gonna look over at Michael.
Yeah,
Michael looks to Monroe.
Yeah, so does Kate. Is like, yes, I believe that was our friend Michael here.
What are you guys talking about?
Wait, what's the version of? Oh, I probably can never insight him enough. What's an insight check?
What's insight
What?
versus manipulation subterfuge?
I probably can't beat. I don't know if I can beat that. I can roll. See if you're full of shit.
Yeah,
but
you can always try.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, it's not really worth it. If he wants to lie, whatever. I don't care.
I'm just feigning innocence.
All right. So a fake auction is going to be held. Is that what I'm getting the hint?
Yeah, I could probably put one together on the down low.
I
Only
like the idea.
How
I
much
mean, if you
time
get
do you
any-
I
need?
like the idea.
How much time do I need?
How much time do you need? Well, we can advertise and everything. We'll get everybody involved in this.
I mean, if you really want to like obviously we're talking like under the radar, like unofficial kind of auction.
Yeah. You know, the one that nobody's supposed to know about, so everybody does.
Yeah.
But are we gonna get a whole bunch of people who legit aren't what we're hunting?
We're going to get a whole bunch of kindred that come in and they're going to leave disappointed.
Not
I
only
do have
that,
a
but we'll
question.
also have people who tried to steal the artifact early.
Well, that's
Yes, I do
kind
have a
of
question
Yes.
for you, Monroe. So you have said that the scales belong to the ministry or is a ministry artifact,
Mhm.
and obviously these supposed children of Osiris are looking for it.
Yes.
Do you have any idea why they would be looking for it?
Probably so we can't have it.
They
And
ministry
your second
enemy?
guess would be? And your second guess would be?
My second guess would be when my first guessed as well. They don't want us to have it. The end. The idea that we could get a hold of this ritualistic item that belongs to the ministry would help us out quite a bit.
Do you know what the histories of the scales are, by chance?
The histories of the scales, it is used to communicate with the souls of Duat.
Duat?
Mm-hmm.
To what?
Duat?
I was
Cade would
gonna
like to
go
roll an
doo-wop.
occult for that.
What'd you say?
Cade would like to roll an occult for that to see if he knows what that is.
You can either do occult or you could do academics. Either way, it doesn't matter to me.
I think that's exactly the same, anyways.
Okay.
Unless it involves my specialty.
What's your specialty again?
Blah blah blah. I can't think. Brain is dying.
That's an odd one.
Yeah, blood magic.
Blood magic? No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Actually, no. Occult is better. Never mind.
3 successes? It's the Egyptian land of the dead.
Okay.
He's basically just saying Setite, like Shadowlands.
A Well, that's very interesting. I wonder if they wish to call Daddy or something.
What
Sounds
the
like.
children?
Yeah,
mean-
if that's what they are,
I mean,
and if
they're
it's true what was stated in the journal.
I mean, if they're a cult that's just like crazy about, why wouldn't they just seek it for themselves because of its connection,
if it is the
rather than
children,
just to keep it rather than to keep it just out of your hands?
if it is the children of Osiris, then they're a cult of personality. Perhaps they're going to try to resurrect Osiris.
That very well could
That's
be possible. If
100%
it's true.
possible.
That feels like
It-
a terrible idea. I don't know about the rest of you, but that just feels like an awful idea.
What could possibly go wrong with waking up a fourth generation Usla?
I don't know. What could?
A neutered one at that. He's going to wake up angry.
Uh oh.
So let me
Not
see if I have
wrong.
this straight. Our current plan is fake auction to lure in some vampires who were intent on stealing this thing, or who had stole this thing, so we could see if we can rouse their suspicions.
Maybe vampires.
Maybe
Maybe
vampires.
mortals.
Maybe
It could be
mortals.
mortals.
I'm going to also say we create a second fake that we can use, say, because someone's going to figure out that the original is fraud, right? The one we make, the one we put up for auction, someone's going to figure out that is a fraud. So if we have a backup later, then they think they'll have stolen maybe the legit copy, right? So we have a backup plan B.
Well, I have a
we can
question
use
for
leverage.
you, Carter.
I am all ears.
You're Hikata.
I am.
Now, from what I understand, I haven't seen it myself because I don't have the eyes for it. But from what I understand, this item, this relic, gives off necromantic energy because of its connections
All
with
right.
Duat.
You tell me. I just heard the word duat today.
The
Because
Egyptian
of
underworld.
its connection to the the Egyptian underworld. Exactly. Thank you, Kate. Because of its connection with that, it's supposed to give off some necromantic energy.
Okay.
Is there a simple charm or binding or something that you might be capable of doing to the false scales that would make it possibly give off the same energy?
I like where your head's at, Monroe. I'm gonna have to look into that. Right now, I'm gonna say I can't do that, but I'm gonna figure out if I can or find some way that I can do that.
I mean, there's always asking Polly.
We could ask Polly, or maybe you can ask Polly for me.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
otherwise, I'll see if I can figure out a way. If I can't,
Because
see if Polly can figure out a way.
going to be interested in this whole thing also.
All
Let's
right.
say if we're gonna do this the right way. Let's say a month.
A month.
I mean,
don't
do you know?
know. Do you think they'll wait that long?
I mean,
I don't
they
think
could.
they're gonna wait that long.
How long has it been since it was stolen?
Oh, just a couple of nights ago.
Then realistically, if you want this to look authentic, this is not the kind of thing that you steal and then put on auction a week later. These kind of
True.
auctions typically take a lot of time to prepare, and seeing as it is a hot item, a month is a believable amount of time. It's just 4 weeks.
That is true.
Well, Michael would know.
I go to a lot of auctions.
That's fair. I mean, you
And-
could present it as a quick sale,
but not
hot
if we're...
item quick sale.
Yeah, I mean, you could, but the chances of the
Not in the
kind
same
of...
city.
Yeah.
We'd have to take it out of the city if we were doing that.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't want to do that because we don't want to step on anyone else's toes.
If we just spun it around like a quick sale of a hot item in the same city, that's just the dumbest thing anyone could possibly do with
Mhm.
stolen artifacts. You
We
look,
need a different plan then, because I mean they're gonna be looking for this.
not a
And you really
not
want
a
it.
different plan, just one that requires and he looks at Monroe when he says this, a little patience.
Well, a month would give us time to advertise as well.
Exactly. And we'll make sure that
Mr.
all of the necessary parties who aren't supposed to know about it.
Mr.
Yes.
Temple, you're a man of the world and perhaps of a little more social reach than the rest of us. Is there any way that you could leverage this or market this, or do you have contacts or maybe an idea for a different approach than anything we've heard so far?
No, I think this is a solid approach. I do have some contacts, but I agree with Michael's assessment. I think a month is probably the best way to approach this.
Ooh,
I mean, if we want to do it this week, I could. I mean, are you guys up for a plane ride? Like, I mean, we could go to like Italy. We can go to Spain. Like, where do you? I mean, we can host the auction anywhere. It's just a matter of when and how.
I was actually going to suggest, could we do the auction at Uncensored?
Ooh.
Oh, I liked what I saw at Uncensored. That looked cool for an auction.
Well, that comes down to Mr. Temple if you're willing to host such an event.
I'd like to go there. Granted, I could just go there whenever, but still.
It would potentially
my
give
night
us
off.
home ground.
Are you still
In
with
a-
us there, Jay?
I am still with.
Okay.
No. Inside I'm going. Yeah, no, play to lose. So this is good.
That is
It's okay. It's okay. If they firebomb it, you get all the insurance money. Then you can rebuild to exactly what you want.
Yep.
Oh,
it's absolutely.
word. Play to lose. That's
Yep.
our new favorite saying, right?
It's my old favorite saying. I love it.
That
That and may the bridges you burn light your path. Anyway.
Wow.
Scorpio. That's kind of how I live things sometimes.
I think it would be perfect to have that there. You host private parties all the time, don't you, Mr. Temple?
I do. I think we could definitely work with that.
Fun.
I love this idea.
Well, if you're hosting, then that cuts off any fees that I was going to have to pay for a venue.
Oh,
so.
I will definitely make sure that Mr. Temple is compensated for his time.
I appreciate that.
Well, then I guess that leaves security, scheduling, marketing.
Well, we got Miss Darby here for security.
That's right. With me, you don't need anybody else.
No, we'll need other people.
I'm sure, but I can run it.
Oh, you could definitely be in charge of security. I think that this is going to be a very interesting event.
I do too.
I'm really curious who's going to show up and call it. I'm curious if the people who stole it are actually dumb enough to go. I know they are, but I'm what I'm mostly curious about is are they dumb enough to call it a fake? Like, how do you know it's a fake?
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping for.
We're hoping they're dumb
enough.
That's
why we have Darby there to
fake.
apprehend them. That's what we're hoping for, and that's why Darby's here to hopefully apprehend them.
That's right. I'm trying to do this with a straight face.
Now, in all fairness, I mean, we are banking a lot here on the fact that they don't just like ship off with it in a month. Like, to devil's advocate, my own idea. I'm just throwing that out there. Like,
well, I mean,
you're right, but if we market it,
go ahead.
Now, if we market it soon and quickly, it'll keep the interest there.
Oh, yes, we'll have to start advertising by tomorrow night. Definitely.
If we start advertising soon, they'll feel that they've gotten away with it. They'll feel something's up. They might be interested in sticking around.
Maybe.
All right.
With that, I'd like to convene with my my friends here, perhaps at the club or the Velvet Veil, just to go over some of the details from my call. A little more boring and pedantic stuff, but
Oh,
Still,
definitely. I think you guys
nonetheless,
should
yeah.
handle those issues yourself.
I thoroughly agree.
All right, are we done then?
Yep. So I'll stand up. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. This has been very fruitful discussion.
Oh, my pleasure.
Michael. Michael, if I could trade contact with you, so that way we could work out the details of the event.
Actually, yeah, we can do that. I was going to suggest that I go back and check out the club tonight, just so I have an idea of what to like start sending out through the web of promotions, as well as kind of the spacing of what I'm going to need as far as like hiring people and that kind of thing goes. So
Well,
Sure.
I
Okay.
personally have a phone call I have to make, so if you all want to do that, I can call Polly and get this all handled.
Sounds
that'll give,
good.
and a month will give you and Polly enough time to make an authentic fake.
Oh, absolutely. I'm probably just going to get one of the college kids to do it, truthfully.
Make 2 fakes.
Well, we have the time.
One with and one without the death magic.
Probably the smart thing.
While this is all happening, Cade will actually write down that phone number. He's like realized he's forgotten it by now.
Okay. The phone number from the book?
Yes, he's
Okay.
like, everyone's like,
Yeah.
a little bit on the down low.
All right. All right. Well, I guess at this point, Monroe is going to shuffle you all out.
Mhm.
And
Right.
I will give you all one last scene, and then I have to call post because we've gone about an hour over what we normally do. But I'm
Yeah,
enjoying
it's
the hell
getting
out of
late.
this.
Me too.
All right. So where do you all go from here?
I'm assuming
About
to.
what time of night is it?
It's probably approaching like 4 a.m. So you have about an hour and a half before
Ooh.
sunrise.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd go back to the Velvet Veil would be cool.
I mean, we could go back over to Uncensored. I think things are kind of like closed down at this point.
Well, it's Georgia. You're gonna have to close it too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So we could at least like go and take a look at the preliminary things.
I mean, true, yes. Because I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I own it, so
Yeah, we can just go walk in.
All right, fine.
So at a game is Michael tagging along?
I was gonna say in character, like, you guys don't mind if I tag along, right?
no, not at all.
I'm not super familiar with the Kindred layout of the city.
Okay.
I'm still getting used to it myself.
And you guys, I can drive separate. That should be fine.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Just meet us there.
Does anybody need a ride?
We all going to same place?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Unless you need
I
someone to
I definitely have my car.
Yeah, I
So-
believe Darby and I are riding together.
I'll grab a ride with Cade and Darby. No offense, Michael.
No, not a problem. I mean, I figured you all came here together in some capacity. I just wanted to make sure. I'll meet you guys at the club.
bet.
All right.
And
While we're
away
in the
we
car, while we're in the car, I'm gonna give 5-minute details to DJ and Darby alone. We have a third option that we need to discuss about what to do with the scales.
Oh,
Do you remember when we went to the church grounds
yes.
and we ran into those lovely women and the race that surrounded us?
Yes.
So,
kinda.
so one of those race has been following me for quite some time. More
Really?
particular, they've been following the scales. and they're obstinate that the scales have to go to Cassidy, who you might recall was the we'll say leader of the daughters of Lilith, and that it would be
Boy.
dangerous to pass the scales to anyone else.
So, do you know much about? I'm going to assume I know the name. Bahari.
I got 3 pips in occult and quite a bit of academics specializing in necromancy, so I'm going to say yes.
I mean, they are dangerous cult themselves to begin with.
So we don't
There's
want to
a
give
re-
it to them?
there's a reason why neither the Camarilla or the Anarchs really deal with them, at least openly.
I'm going to tell you that I've been surrounded by wraiths since we've started talking and since we've had our hands on those scales.
Are they here
And
now?
no, because they're always surrounding me when I have the scales. At any point they could have ripped me to shreds, and they haven't done anything. And my contact that I went to go have a chat with, he's on the other side too, and he's not particularly put off by them either. They don't mean me any harm, it seems.
Just because they don't mean
I,
any harm doesn't mean they don't mean harm or some of it. So it sounds right now we have 3 separate groups that wish to acquire the scales, and that's not even including us potentially. We have the
correct.
Children of Osiris. We do not know what they want to do with it. We have the Ministry, who claims that it is theirs to begin with. Somehow they did not have ownership of it at this time. And we have the Bahari, who also wish to have it for unknown reasons. Now, to be honest, I can take some educated yet baseless guesses
It's
as to
not the
why.
Bahari. It's not the Bahari. It's the daughters of Lilith or the children of Lilith that we
Am I
saw.
saying that wrong?
And on top of that, it wasn't them asking for it. It was a wraith telling me that is the safest place for it and where it has to go. And this wraith is
But this is the wraith that you encountered when we met them, correct?
Mhm. But this is a wraith
We
that's been following me for quite some time, and I'm convinced if it
This
wanted me
wraith could just be
gone,
under their
I'd be gone.
influence, though. This wraith can just be under their influence in whatever
I
fashion.
don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think if anything, it's the opposite of under its
Based
influence. I
on
think
what, though? What are you
it's hard
basing
to
this off of?
explain. It's hard to explain. It seems to be operating independent, and it seems to be more powerful. I mean, it lives at my home now.
That's very interesting indeed.
Sorry, it's been a busy night.
No,
Really
you're
has.
not wrong. Hmm.
Oh no, I mean,
How are you communicating with it?
Kind of like talking to a cat, right? You're reaching across the bounds of veil, and you can't have a direct conversation, but you can figure out when it's hungry, and you can figure out when it's angry, and you can figure out when it wants a pet. But at this point, it's pointing me in the direction of giving the scales to Cassidy. And at that point, it's more than talking to a cat. It literally wrote it out.
I'm not sure I feel comfortable with them possessing it. They are a very unknown factor, more so than the others.
What
At
I'm
least the
saying is
ministry.
let's find out more about them. We've got a month before this auction. I'm
we have
saying
If anybody at this point, I would say it would be more beneficial to our alliance is, shall we say, if the ministry held it. And to be honest, we may even be able to, and say they do get a hold of it, there may even be a chance that you could thoroughly investigate it even under their care.
I'm I'm saying
Plus,
it's been more
their
beneficial
knowledge.
for us if it remains under. No one knows we have it. A lot of people suspect, but no one knows where it is right now.
No,
We keep it
someone
under.
does.
We keep it under. We keep it under our care. We
The
find
Wraith knows
out.
where it is. The Wraith knows where it is, and if that
The
Wraith
Wraith
is
knows.
already biased towards this, towards these individuals, there's no telling
The,
if they may reveal its location to them.
if it wanted to, it already would have had.
It may have.
It's had the time. It's
Maybe
had
May
the
have
time.
already.
Maybe it's
Then
playing
maybe,
nice until it determines that our intentions are to give it to someone else.
This is
maybe,
true.
maybe. And if that's true, then I'll be dead tomorrow, and the scales will be gone. But I don't
But
think that's the case.
you said she's there. The Wraith is there. So the
Mhm.
Wraith ain't going to hear this conversation.
The Wraith isn't with us right now.
Wait, what?
The Wraith isn't with us right now.
Right, exactly. That's my point. That they don't know. They're not going to know that what our intentions are.
For right now, I trust the Wraith more than I trust the Ministry, more than I trust anyone else.
Mm.
I don't know. The Wraith came from that group. Did it not?
The Wraith was around that group. It didn't come from that group.
It
It
was
was a
that
cemetery. Remember, we found it in a cemetery. There was all
right?
kinds of Wraiths there. What I'm saying is, let's find out. Let's go back to Cassidy and that group. Let's find out more about them. We have new members now. Could maybe have more insight than what we do. See how they react. Push and pull a little more.
You're opening up a lot of variables here, though. That's like trying to do a
We need
chemistry
more
experiment.
variables.
That's like trying to do a chemistry experiment and just throwing in various ingredients and see what happens.
This
You
is
make
how
it
the
very
greatest discoveries are made.
explosive, and you could also get a very volatile and dangerous concoction.
Hey, I'm making an omelet, my friend. We got to break some eggs.
Problem is, it's more than one egg, and I don't like to be broken.
Right now, I'm the egg in question.
Unfortunately, I feel that will be tied together. I was there. We were both there when we also spoke with them, so we would be implicated if something did get revealed as well.
Does it hurt merely to go back to Cassidy and find out more? Have a conversation.
I will be honest.
Conversation. I'm not.
I don't like them. I will be
I'm
honest
not
with
saying go back with them with it in a briefcase and say, "Hey, here you go. Here's the scales." I'm just saying conversation.
you. Even
You just had a
conversation.
conversation with the ministry. Got a little more information.
Who was recommended by Savvy?
Okay. I have a Wraith that was recommended by a ghost friend of mine.
You had a Wraith that. Wait, this Wraith that followed you home was recommended by someone?
In a manner of speaking. It's hard when you're dealing with those who lie beyond the veil. It's a lot more complicated. They don't give out business cards.
I think right now we do not make a decision because right now I can tell her you want to give it to them. That is not how this should work.
Oh,
We need to investigate all avenues.
I
Although,
am more predisposed towards,
yeah, that's no.
but
We
I'm
need to
not. I haven't
be
made any firm decisions yet.
there shouldn't be any even predisposition. It should all just be we need to investigate it and then make a decision once we've done investigating.
Investigate.
I don't think I'm real comfortable giving it to them either.
Listen.
All right,
Listen.
so
There are
we're
ways
agreeing
to
on investigating.
But I want to investigate.
Let us agree with
Mhm.
this. We do not want the children of Osiris having this.
Well, that's
Agreed.
true.
We can at least put that card off the table. They are a threat no matter what to our safety, to our existence of all of our kind. That alone is knowledge. We can agree with that. As for
Agreed.
who has the scales afterwards, that can be various and can come out in many conclusions. Some may upset one or more parties, while there may be ways of addressing this that at least we are not tagged in a way of blame.
How about this? We go back, or perhaps myself and Mr. Temple or Michael go back to Cassidy and the church, find out more about them, and we say, what do you know about the children of Osiris? Position, hopefully, that they're against them just as much as they are, just as much as Monroe is, and see what information they're willing to part with and trade with. They were very welcoming
If
before.
they want the scales, I would prefer knowing why they want the scale. And for what
Exactly.
purpose.
Why? So find out why the children of Osiris. So I see what they want, what they know of the children of Osiris want. Information trading before we
Children
make
of
a decision.
Osiris, I can see where they might want it. And again, we may be just speculating, but to be honest, it doesn't matter why they want it. We don't want them to have it.
Listen, we have a hand. It's a good hand. Let's make it a bit stronger hand.
It is
See
a
what everyone
risky
else
hand.
has.
It is a risky hand. We are on
And
a
we can make
knife's
it
edge
stronger.
here.
The
We are on a knife's
can
edge.
make-
the danger you have in talking about this thing is that you're going to accidentally reveal that we have it. You need to be real careful when we're dealing with people who want it,
When it
because
came
you're
to
just going to
Cassidy,
put a big friggin' target on our backs.
when it came to
If there isn't
Cassidy,
already. Sorry.
when it came to Cassidy, I'm pretty sure they already know we have it.
Be that as it may.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Savvy is aware, or at least speculates.
I think he's
None of
aware.
them knows. None of them knows where it is or who has it exactly. So
Right, well, not necessarily. Again, you have a Spectre friend that is hanging around it, and we do not know what information that Spectre is handing out to others. They may not be
And like
handing
I
out anything. They may be handing it out to multiples.
if it wanted to see the scales there and would just get rid of me to do it, yeah, I think it'd already be done.
There are many factors here that we do not know, and unfortunately, without that, we cannot make plans well. If you wish to speak with Cassidy, that is fine. I will not speak to her again. She makes me uncomfortable. Let's just say that.
Then I'll take one of the other new members of our little group
Once
here.
again, I'm not real comfortable. I'm not sure how much I want to let Michael in on this.
If
He
we let
seems a
them know,
real buddy with the ministry guy who is one of the parties.
if
You
we
could
I
just-
take
agree.
one of the others, if you take one of the others, you will basically be telling them that we have it.
How far were we from just letting Mr. Temple know, anyways?
I wasn't planning on letting him know. Were you?
This sort of thing is not my call to make, so I wasn't going to let him know either.
I need someone. I
wish-
need to approach Cassidy for more information, and I need someone else to help me. If neither of you are going to help,
Why do you think that they tell the truth?
I don't, and that's why I need someone else to help me perceive.
That's why I'm wondering if is there some other way around.
If I was going to say taking somebody,
For probably.
I
maybe-
would say Michael.
They don't need to know
The
that I
reason
have
why
it.
I would say Michael, the reason why I'd say Michael is you can present it as you've been approached by somebody who has interest in it.
Mhm. All right.
But do not make the inquiry until after the announcement has been made. So it seems that they have heard, they have interest in it.
I'll let you make the announcement.
That is up to Michael when he is ready.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I just wouldn't do it until then.
You guys are probably sitting in the parking lot by now. It's not that far of a drive.
Yeah. We're just like we're
This
conversing.
is
You just see
big.
like Mr. Temple and Michael just sitting out like, what are they talking about?
I mean,
Throw
it's
our
kind of
hands
an
up.
important conversation to have. You know,
Anyways,
we have
we
a
will have to
month to
table this for
figure
now.
this BS out, so
At
I'm
this
not
point,
worried about
Cade
it.
is going to get out, so it doesn't
They'll
look.
get out of the car eventually.
Yeah.
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 All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say you're all there, standing outside now.
Just looking at the building.
So I'll go over with the keys and start to open the door, try to punch in the security code,
Okay.
and walk in.
Does it take you like 5 times to do it?
No, just meant in terms of like try to do it in such a way that people don't
I'm
see
just
what the
thinking of my
code
work.
is.
You guys are at Uncensored. It is closed. They have done a fairly good job cleaning up, but they primarily do most of the cleaning probably in the morning before they like reopen.
Right.
So, how is this going? I assume Michael has caught up as well.
Yeah, I would have just followed from the museum.
Okay, so you're all there
Yeah. So
with no
uh,
NPCs. Haha.
so I'll have like some basic lights on, nothing too extravagant, but just so that people can see the general layout of the building.
So, I have a question as we're starting to walk in. We have this auction. We suss out whoever wants it. What then? What's our goal?
I don't really have a goal. It's
I
not
mean,
my item.
are we looking to apprehend, frighten, destroy any who would be coming in looking for this?
I mean, that's not really my like. It's not really my business.
No, that's fine. I'm
That's
thinking
more. That's
thing.
more up to Monroe and I guess Mr. Temple. It's his establishment. You know.
Why up to
Um,
Monroe?
well, it's his scales. So
Technically, it's the museum scales or the institute that was
okay.
showing them off.
Technically, it's a pharaoh's scales from like 2000 BC. Like, I mean, we could play the technical game all day. Whose ownership trumps whose? It doesn't really matter to me.
And that's fine.
Like,
I'm just pointing out of we have different individuals who could potentially lay claim
I
for
would lay
on
claim to him
whatever
if someone
basis.
would just let me sign a check. Like,
And you could technically, if you had the right paperwork, even if it was illegal at some point. That
nah,
has happened throughout history.
all my stuff stays pretty above board. But um, you want my honest opinion on this?
Yes.
We just see what happens. I'm not really that
Like,
I'm not really that motivated one way or the other. I'm really here just because I want to see what happens. And if I can facilitate a place in which that happens, then cool. Like,
You and Carter would get along famously, by the way.
what about the hand? There's a hand of Osiris, whatever they're called.
the children of
What
Osiris.
children of Osiris? I mean, what do we do with them? Are we? Am I
Well, that's
thinking their
part
hands?
my question.
Let me lay out what's gonna happen, okay?
Yeah.
This is just me predicting with what I know. Whoever reveals that they have the scales are not only going to have the children of Osiris bearing down on them who want it, if that is really who they are, right?
Mhm.
There was a mention of mummies, so maybe mummies want it. I don't really know much about that. Effectively, what's going to happen, and apologies, Mr. Temple, if it all happens during the auction, but effectively, what's going to happen is whoever it is that wants the scales are going to put whoever it is who has the scales through, if they're lucky, death, because that would probably be the least painful thing for a group of immortal. Like if they are immortal, like right, like if they are some supernatural creature that can heal lots of torturous damage, there's a likelihood that they'll make them suffer for it. In the event that the individuals are kindred, maybe the only thing worse than death is final death, and the only thing worse than final death is diablerie.
I
And
mean, I don't think the Baron's going to be wanting diablerie within his domain.
wouldn't know. Never met him.
You've never met the Baron?
I just got here like a couple weeks ago.
I do suggest introducing yourself. It's a courtesy.
Well, yeah, but it's hard to, masquerade and all. It's hard to find people when you're not exactly looking for them.
Oh, I can take you there. He's my boss.
I think the proper way is we can inform the Baron and
Okay.
then see about setting up an introduction.
If we want to be technical, I only got here yesterday.
That's fine. I'm just putting it out there. If you want to come meet him, introduce yourself, I can help with that.
On the official story, I got here yesterday.
Especially if we're going to be holding an auction within his domain, there will be other kindred that may or may not be part of this domain. I'm sure that the Baron would like to be aware of who is entering in and, make sure there is some,
Sure.
I
mean,
well, that would be their
notification.
Individual.
I make a habit of staying out of the way of kindred politics if I can. Answering Monroe's call to help him out with this situation is honestly more involved than I feel comfortable ever being. It just so happens that I deal in antiquities. He owned one, it got stolen, and now we're here.
Michael, what's your tie to Monroe?
I work in antiquities. He runs a history museum.
He's just a client?
Well, I mean, professional. Think of him like a work friend, I guess, the closest thing I could say.
Okay.
He needs things acquired. You facilitate that.
I acquire things. He buys things. He acquires things. I buy things. Like I said, I'm an antiquarian because I can be. Like, I'm relatively new at it. In all honesty.
All right.
So you want to know what my biggest investment in all of this nonsense is?
I do.
Keeping Monroe from thinking that I'm involved in something bad in any way, just because I don't want to make enemies of the Setites or the Giovanni, for that matter. I like to say I'm in the business of making friends, not enemies. My second thing is to just figure out why it was stolen, because like all the people who have reason to have taken it aren't the ones who presumably have taken it. So like finding out why it was stolen, that's really all I care about.
That's why we need an auction and 2 fake ones made.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, whoever.
Where I'm curious is why are you guys so involved in this?
Well, I came here as an occult researcher. We've got a lot of different interests. A lot of them overlap with Mr. Blackstone's. And I met him while doing some research. I was intent on visiting this display. Never got the opportunity before the whole thing was taken from all of us. And now we're here.
Just the bodyguard. That's my interest in this.
As was stated, Mr. Temple was approached by these individuals in his club earlier tonight, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
And during a meeting that we were going to have in the college, they approached us in a more aggressive manner. Minor altercation began until it was diffused slightly, and then a moment of speaking was introduced.
So why did they aggressive with you if you had nothing to do with any of this whatsoever?
That is a fine question. As for even why they would even come after us, I'm not quite sure, or how
I,
they knew
I
what
have
we
a
were.
guess. I have a guess.
Go ahead.
Uh, you guys are the one that took it. That's my guess. Four random
Well, you
kindred
guys
who
are
didn't
wrong.
have four random kindred who don't have any association with one another prior to this little debacle. One of them who only recently joined points to Temple because some people randomly approached him in his fetish club about something that he apparently had nothing to do with whatsoever prior to that. A Hakata who only recently got here, a warlock who I actually don't know much about. I think I probably know more about Carter than I do you, Cade. And the muscle to the Baron.
How do you know about me?
So, well, pardon me for a moment. That would be accurate if you weren't missing some information. I myself work for the Baron under a particular um, cause, and Darby was stationed by the Baron to guard me in my endeavors, since it could be potentially dangerous.
And your endeavors were
Something I would not like to divulge at this moment.
that's fair. I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to
I
like
can assure you, though, my endeavors did not and do not involve the scales, and I can honestly tell you I did not steal them.
you didn't.
I did not.
Looks to Darby.
He's telling the truth.
Stare the humored stare kind of intensifies.
He's telling the truth. I was assigned,
Oh no, that's not what I'm doubting. He
and
said
he
he's the one who Mr. Okay, let me lay it out here for you. And again, I have zero stake in any of this other than just doing a friend a favor, and a friend is a strong word. You work at the university. You're a professor
Yes.
at the university, so you're right there by the museum,
Yes,
within
and
reason.
I can tell you, I was actually there that night. I was there doing research for my endeavor that, again, is in great
Okay,
interest to the Baron.
I'm gonna
Darby
pull
was with me that night too.
Mekhet. I want to pull up my phone
Okay.
and look at the picture of the footage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna hold up the blurry camera footage of Darby and Carter leaving the museum.
is it just the two of us, by the way?
There's a third person, but I can't really tell who they are.
It's really hard to tell who anybody is, but like just kind of looking at the basic outlines and stuff, it's like you could definitely put the square hole, the square block at the square hole, like that kind of thing.
I can tell you, I was there that night. I actually even observed the scales that night while it was in the case. When I left, they were still there.
Well, I'm
I
not
look at him
necessarily.
as
Yeah, go ahead.
I look at him. You're right. It looks like a bald guy. How novel. You're
Okay,
absolutely right. Mr.
I
Temple stole the scales.
Mr.
It's
Temple
very
stole the
clear.
skills.
Yeah, it's very clear from all this.
It just looks to Temple.
I don't think Temple's bald.
Not at all.
I
Yeah,
was
no,
gonna
he's got
say
hair.
Temple's not bald. The only
Yeah.
person that's bald in this group is you.
Derek just like folds his arms, like cocks his head to the side.
Like I said, I don't really care who has it.
Preposterous.
I'm more concerned with what's going to happen to the people who stole it. I don't care why I don't care who stole it. I really just want to know why. Like that's my biggest personal curiosity, and I also like. All right, you guys can. I'm no authority whatsoever. You don't have. We just met. You don't have to tell me the truth.
I have no reason to lie to you on this matter.
Okay, let me do this really quickly. Uh, These fucking mooks just called me and said they stole it. I sent them to Cassidy.
And who was
What?
that from?
It doesn't matter who it's from.
But who are the mooks?
You. I don't think you're mooks. That's what somebody else had to say.
I see. So, well, at least to us, an unknown source is making accusations with no proof.
Also,
I
I
mean,
don't think Derek likes being called a mook.
Again, I'm not the one calling you mooks. Okay, look, we can.
No, that's understandable. It is not you.
We can
You're true.
look. We can play ignorant. It's fine. I'm just. If anything, I was gonna critique your guys' methods. That's really all I was gonna do. But die with the lie, right? Like that's what they say. All right. So whoever has it, let me just lay this out for you guys, so you guys are prepared for whatever happens the night of the auction. Whoever has it or is responsible for stealing it is going to have some very powerful and bad people teach them a very bad and frightening and very likely painful lesson on knowing who you steal from.
I sincerely agree with you. As for
So,
why they took it,
What makes you think they're going to show up at the auction?
That's what
And is. What if they don't? Or what if they don't ever figure out who has it? Are they going to be able to teach you? Where they're going to pick some random person out of the crowd and teach them a lesson?
well,
actually, that could happen.
okay, let me put it this way. If you guys aren't the ones that stole it, you guys need to do something to clear your damn name pretty fast. Because there are some very unhappy people who think you took it. And I'm doing you a solid because I actually kind of like you guys. You all seem pretty likable.
That is fair, and I thank you for that.
Yep. So if you're not the ones who took it, then consider me here to help you clear your name. If you are the ones that took it, then consider me here to help. Consider me here to help clear your name.
All right, we'll take it either way.
Really?
If you are the ones that took it, I have a check that has been burning a hole in my pocket for months. And I just like, Monroe wouldn't sell it. And if you guys know who took it, I mean, tell them I have a hole burning, like a check burning a hole in my pocket.
Zeros are on that check.
That's not important. Not yet.
So I'm guessing that means that you're planning on partaking in the auction yourself.
Well, yeah. But I know it's fake, so I'm not going to actually bid real, like, I'm not going to bid real competitively.
And say, isn't the point aren't we just auctioning off a couple of fakes?
Yeah. And it's going to be a very nice donation to fund a future auction that I plan on hosting at some point.
What I'm saying is he would play it as if he's part of the auction
Oh,
to rise up to bring up the cost a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, the reality
I'm not going to directly. That's not really my style, but yeah.
I don't think he'd want to win.
I don't, but it's my money, so like I'll pay me my own money. Sure. Like I'm the one hosting the auction. Any money spent is going to go to me before it goes anywhere.
Oh, hey, are you gonna actually have some other items you're gonna auction off?
Yeah, no, I can make it a legitimate auction. I'll sell off a few other items. I've got some items that I could have flowing in.
It is almost daybreak. We should probably finalize what we're doing here.
That's probably fair.
True enough.
I'm just gonna be your body. I'm gonna be your bodyguard. So that's what I'm gonna be.
Nah, that's appreciated. Can you do me one favor, Darby?
Yeah.
At some point before the auction, can you do the superhero landing? Like legitimately do the superhero landing? I love that movie.
Oh, possibly.
Nah, you're the best.
I try to be.